Ladies and gentlemen, I may have just witnessed the greatest national anthem of all time performed by Dan Sayer here at Karras Park today. The tempo was up, the passion was there. Makes me proud to be an American, and what better way to take this patriotism if not watching baseball. We're live on the air on the Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube for the final game of this 5-game stretch between the Sioux Falls Sunfish and the Fremont Moo. Hello, fans. David Coyer bringing you all the action tonight from Karras Park on the beautiful campus of Augustana University in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. The Moo have won 2 straight and have tied things up at the top of the Clark Division at 8-3 in the second half standings. These two teams meet 3 more times later this week for a 3-game series here at Karras Park before closing out the season with a 2-game stand here in Sioux Falls. It'll most likely be these two teams determining who will face the Western Nebraska Pioneers at the end of the season in the Expedition League playoffs. Right now, it's 8-3 with the Moo overall 28-14, the Sunfish 22-20 for Game 2 of this 2-game stand in Sioux Falls. Game 5 since Friday. Mitch Stone on the mound against the Moo, kicking and delivering a fastball which is drilled high and deep to right center field. Gannon Thompson will make easy work of it for out number 1. 6:38 for the second night in a row on the first pitch, and we are underway with a bang. That was Darian Morphew flying out. He's leading things off, followed by now Austin Baskin. E.J. Taylor, the All-Star first baseman, up next. Brock Reller, the All-Star designated hitter, batting cleanup. Luke White, Jack Simonson, Ryan Koski, Ryan Hayes, and Dylan Sears rounding out the Fremont Moo lineup against Mitch Stone. His second pitch, another fastball. It misses high for ball 1. Dylan Cricket Danielson out in left field. Gannon Thompson in center. All-Star right fielder Adonis Forte is out there. Fastball hits for a strike. That was a slider. Hits for a strike. It's 1 ball, 1 strike now to Baskin. Another slider this time misses. It's 2-1. The Moo shut out the Sunfish for the first time that the Sunfish have been shut out in franchise history last night. 1-0 was the score in the pitcher's duel. Stone's behind 2-1. He throws a fastball high. It's now 3 balls and 1 strike to Baskin, who's hitting .330 on the season. Last night went 0 for 4 with a pair of strikeouts. Here's the 3-1. Fastball's popped up. It's going to be high and out of play. And we have a full count. Mitch Stone on the season, however, has had an all-star season himself. One of the 4 traveling to Casper next Monday for the All-Star festivities. 2-2 on the season through 8 starts. The payoff pitch, a slider, drop it in on the inside. He gets Baskin looking for out number 2, strikeout number 1. That is strikeout number 50 for Mitch Stone on the season. He is in 3rd in the Expedition League overall. The first Sunfish pitcher to ever throw 50 strikeouts in a season through this inaugural campaign, and Stone is working quickly. 41 innings pitched, 14 walks, 35 hits, a 4.61 ERA for Mitch Stone. He last pitched at Wheat City last week, throws a slider on the outside corner to E.J. Taylor. Gave up 2 earned runs off 1 hit, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Got the win in the 7-2 Sunfish victory against the Whiskey Jacks last week. A fastball's drilled hard into the gap in left center field. That falls for a base hit. E.J. Taylor takes a round around first, but he'll stop there as the throw from Gannon Thompson will overshoot Benito Garcia into the glove of Jonathan Brandon. A similar start as the first inning was yesterday. Morphew and Baskin getting out. E.J. Taylor reaching. He reached on a walk yesterday in the first inning. Now he has an early hit. E.J. Taylor, one of the many All-Stars from the Fremont Moo this season. It'll be another one. Brock Reller, who takes the first pitch he sees against Stone, high and deep to right field. Pulled it just a bit too far as it went foul. 310 to that right field corner, 320 to the left, 395 to dead center. Reller familiar with Karras Park. He plays at Minnesota Crookston in the NSIC, so he faces off against the Augustana Vikings throughout the season. Fouls off an 89-mile-an-hour fastball, and Reller's behind 0-2. 4-13 on the season, shows why he's an all-star from the left side of the plate. 1 for 4 last night with a strikeout. Leads the Expedition League with 12 home runs, has a triple and 9 doubles, 38 RBIs. A 90-mile-an-hour fastball blows the hat off of Mitch Stone, and it misses high for ball 1. Reller from Grand Forks, North Dakota. I was talking with JT Mix after the game yesterday, and I was talking about Reller. He said, man, we found some home runs from the NSIC conference tournament that went very far over the right field wall. A slider misses outside. The count's even at 2. During that NSIC tournament, Minnesota Crookston making it to the Final Four. The 2-2, slider taken away, and just a bit low. Reller has fought back to a full count. It was St. Cloud State who ended up winning the NSIC baseball tournament. The payoff pitch is grounded softly over to Benito Garcia at short. He trying to come up with it, bare hands, throws it across the infield, not in time. A nice recovery there by Benito as he pulled his glove up just a bit too early, but it was not in time. We'll see what they give Garcia on that one. It was a tough play, and they're giving it an E6, though, as he was charging in, and it would have been an out most likely, as Benito's got a nice arm there from short. So the first error of the game for the Sioux Falls Sunfish puts 2 runners on. Ground ball from Luke White over to Norris McClure. Double clutches, throws it over to Zeph Hoffbauer at first, and the E6 doesn't matter anyway as the Sunfish get out of this one. No runs off 1 hit, 1 error, 2 left on base for the Fremont Moo in the top of the first. The Sunfish are due up for their first at-bats when we return on the Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube. The Sunfish kept the Moose scoreless in the first inning, and it will be Jonathan Brandon to lead things off for the Sunfish in the bottom half of the first inning. Jonathan Brandon, Benito Garcia, Norris McClure, the first 3 in the lineup. Zeph Hoffbauer, Gannon Thompson return back to work. Carter Tibbetts is behind the dish for Sioux Falls. Mitch Stone moved to designated hitter tonight. Dylan Cricket Danielson and Adonis Forte round out the lineup. 91-mile-an-hour fastball misses at the ankles to Jonathan Brandon from Trent Sellers. the starting pitcher for the Moo tonight. 1-1 on the season, making his third start in his 8th appearance. 4.8 ERA through 15 innings. Jabo fouls one off. It's 1-1. That foul ball is presented by Keg Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it, Keg Chicken. 23 strikeouts and 7 walks for Sellers. But it hasn't been on the mound that the Sunfish have seen him. No, they saw him yesterday in the field as a slider cuts through the zone and makes it a 1-2 count as it hits on the outer half of the plate. Yesterday in the 1-0 Moo victory, Sellers went 1 for 3 at the plate with an RBI on his sac fly. The lone RBI of the game, but on the mound for the Moo, he's been doing great things as well. Jabo pops up a slider. Center field, Darian Morphew trotting in to make the catch for out number 1. Ryan Koski, Darian Morphew, Jack Simonson, a familiar outfield from left to right for Fremont. With Luke White and Austin Baskin on the left side of the infield. Dylan Sears appearing in his first game here at Karras Park, back at second base, with E.J. Taylor, the all-star first baseman, right at home. Ryan Hayes, who had a grand slam in the doubleheader on Sunday, is back at catcher for Benito Garcia. A curveball hits for strike 1 on the outside. Garcia back over at shortstop after last night, going 2 for 4. Had a third of the hits for the Sunfish, another third going to Dylan Cricket Danielson. A hard-thrown fastball misses Lone away. It's 1-1. Live from Denver, Colorado, the All-Star lineups are being announced. They just got through the American League reserves. Now they're going through the National League as Chris Taylor of the LA Dodgers is being announced right now, followed by Justin Turner. Garcia bloops one up the middle, one hop into the glove of Baskin on second, fires it over to first for out number 2. If there were 2 guys on, it would have been a double play. Instead, it's just the 1 out on the 6-3 as the anti-beer batter Norris McClure steps up to the plate. It's the Moo that McClure has really struggled against this season. Out of the 4 games that McClure has appeared in against the Moo, he only has hits in 2 of them. Changeup misses outside. It's 1 ball, no strikes. He's hitting .316 on the season, has only had 2 games where he has gone hitless. Both of them have been in Fremont. The 1-0 is inside on the fastball, 2-0. But is back to his normal ways, going 1 for 4 in both last night's game and game 2 of the doubleheader on Sunday. So he got his first hit against the Moo in game 2 of the doubleheader. The lefty takes a fastball right on the outside part of the plate. First strike 1. It's now 2-1 with 2 outs in the bottom of the first inning. The Moo remains scoreless as both the middle infielders, Austin Baskin and Dylan Sears, are playing on the outfield grass. The 2-1. Changeup swung on far too early by McClure, evening the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. While it's the Moo and the Sioux Falls Sunfish, who are on top of the Clark Division standings, the Western Nebraska Pioneers are right on their tail, 1 game behind, as are the Spearfish Sasquatch. McClure fouls off a 91-mile-an-hour fastball, keeping the count even at 2. But while the while the Spearfish Sasquatch are actually a true game behind at 7-4, currently on a 4-game winning streak, the Western Nebraska Pioneers have played 2 less games. They're just 6-3. The 2-2 rolled over straight into the hand of, well, it was in the hand of Mitch Stone. He couldn't quite get a hold on it. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., the first batter announced for the American League in their starting lineup. A lineup that features heavily with some Blue Jays and Red Sox, with Shohei Ohtani getting the start on the mound. He also is leading off the batting order for the American League today, the first 2-way All-Star. McClure fouls off another 2-2, this time an off-speed from Sellers. While the Sunfish are just getting used to being back home at Karras Park. They get up and leave tomorrow once again for a 2-game stint in Hastings against the Sodbusters. Sunfish have only seen the Sodbusters one other time this season, the 3-game homestand in which the Sunfish took that one. 90-mile-an-hour fastball just misses low, and we have a full count. The Sodbusters, 4.5 games behind at 4-8 to start off this second half of the season. They're 12-30 overall, just a game above the 11-29 Pier Trappers. The payoff is taken high to right center field and deep. Back at the wall is Simonson, who'll catch it right in front of the warning track. McClure just missed that one to right center field, one of the deeper parts of this ballpark, for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down for the Sioux Falls Sunfish in the bottom of the first inning, and we're scoreless after 1 from Karras Park. Top of the second inning. It'll be the 6, 7, 8 hitters, Jack Simonson, Ryan Koski, and Ryan Hayes, due up for the Fremont Moo to kick this one off, all getting their first at-bats. We're scoreless after 1 full. It'll be the North Dakota State Bison. Jack Simonson, there we go. He takes a slider. His first pitch from Mitch Stone. The wind and delivered. Stone quick with his delivery. This one's fouled off by Simonson for a strike. That foul ball presented by Keg Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it. Simonson last night went 1 for 4. He was the only run that would score. It was off that sac fly. If fastball 88 hits on the outside corner for strike 2, it's a 1-2 count. Simonson almost made it a 2-0 ball game with a home run, but it was fellow Summit Leaguer Dylan Cricket Danielson in left field who would rob the home run. The 1-2, a slider foul tipped low and away, gets Simonson to chase for strikeout number 2 for Mitch Stone and out number 1 here in the top of the second inning. Dylan Cricket Danielson's home run robbery got himself number 2 on the SportsCenter top 10. And at least it was on Snapchat. That's where we saw it. I'm not sure if it was actually on like SportsCenter top 10. I assume it is if you have it on Snapchat. It's now Ryan Koski. Swings on a fastball and misses low and away. It's 0-1 to the righty from Northwest Missouri State. But Cricket Danielson on the Jack Simonson hard hit, long hit ball to left field. Got it at the wall, came up, brought it back in. A fastball misses below the knees. It's 1-1. And so the North Dakota State Bison robbed by the Oral Roberts Golden Eagle, making it to SportsCenter, which is pretty cool for the Sunfish and Cricket Danielson as a whole. Fastball hits the outside corner. It's 1-2. Koski, 287 on the season, 15 RBIs, 14 walks, 4 doubles, a triple, and a home run, 21 strikeouts, 1 for 3 with a double last night in the 1-0 victory. The 1-2 taken outside on the slider. Stone's hat has fallen off for about the 3rd time. Never really seen that before. That time it was just a 77-mile-an-hour slider. Here's the 2-2. Slider just absolutely fools Ryan Koski. Started up and in and just went across and down. That was probably one of the nastiest sliders I've seen Stone throw all season. Strikeout number 3 on the day for Stone. Climbing up the ranks of the Expedition League. Now at 52 as he faces Ryan Hayes. Fastball low and away is called ball 1. Hayes, who has been struggling this season, just under a 200 batting average. 3 doubles on the season, 2 home runs as a fastball runs in, making it 2-0. One of those home runs, well, came in Game 2 of Sunday. He was in the 2nd inning with the bases loaded, no outs. Brooks Capel would give up a no-out grand slam to Hayes to make it a 4-0 game. 2 balls, no strikes as another pitch misses away. That was 4 of the runs scored in the, it's 3-0. That was 4 of the runs scored in that 7-run 2nd inning. A fastball right at the knees makes it a 3-1 count. So I got through the outfield. It's Norris McClure and Benito Garcia on the left side of the infield. Slider cuts in again. It's now a full count as it's taken for a strike. Jonathan Brandon, Zeph Hoffpower on the right side with Carter Tibbetts calling the signs behind the dish. The Sunfish wearing their black, gray, whites today. The 3-2 grounded sharply to Norris McClure. Backhands it at the line, fires it across the infield in time. Norris McClure, who had a couple nice plays last night, shows his arm strength today. 3 up, 3 down. The Sunfish respond with a 3 up, 3 down of their own. Pair of strikeouts for Mitch Stone gets the job done. We'll return for the bottom of the 2nd inning. Zeph Hoffpower, Gannon Thompson, Carter Tibbetts due up for the Sunfish. Earlier this year, baseball legend and former home run king Hank Aaron, a former member of the Milwaukee Braves, Atlanta Braves, and Milwaukee Brewers organizations, passed away. And right now at the All-Star game, they're honoring Hammer and Hank, the legend. And all of you Sunfish fans out there know I'm from Milwaukee, so you know he meant a lot to the city of Milwaukee, playing most of his career with the Milwaukee Braves. And so it's a nice tribute that they just did out in Denver. Zeph Hoffpower leads things off and fouls off the first pitch from Trent Sellers, who went 3 up, 3 down in the 1st inning. We remain scoreless here at Karras Park. through an inning and a half. Back-to-back, 3 up, 3 down half innings. And Zeph Hoffpower, who's hitting .253 on the season out of Pensacola State. 11 RBIs with a lone home run. That's his only extra base hit. He fouls one into the backstop for strike 2 on the off-speed. Zev hasn't played since Game 1 of the doubleheader on Sunday. Went 2 for 2 with a pair of RBIs, one of which was a sac fly. The 0-2 is a fastball that gets right by Ryan Hayes in the left-handed batter's box. Some members of the Sioux Falls Cyclones baseball team in attendance tonight. One of them, the Bat Boy. I think I heard his name was Sam. Coming and getting that foul ball. Last night it was the Sioux Falls Sparks softball team. The 1-2 is a breaking ball, popped up high to center field. Easy work for Darian Morphew, who just has to take a couple steps to his left to make that catch. Darian Morphew, if I'm not mistaken, and I'll just quick double check. Yeah, that's right. He's played in every game of this 5-game stretch against the Sunfish. In fact, wow, he's actually on a very long consecutive games played streak. Slider hits at the knees to Gannon Thompson, the Sioux Falls boy. And if I'm not mistaken, from June 30th until today, with a few off days in between, just with the Moo off days, Morphew has played in every single game. This time a slider misses outside. It's 1-1. So it was June 30th against the Hastings Sodbusters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12 games straight. This marking game 13 for Morphew. A fastball hits the lower outside corner. First strike 2. It's a 1-2 count to the Sioux Falls, South Dakota native and Michigan State Spartan Gannon Thompson. Batting .254 on the season. 2 doubles, 2 home runs, 17 RBIs. Takes a slider that gets by Ryan Hayes, evening up the count at 2. 0-2 in Game 2 of the doubleheader on Sunday. 1 for 2 in Game 1 of that doubleheader. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the 6-7 Thompson. Rolls over one, left side. Baskin stabs it out of the air, firing it hard over to Taylor with the long stretch at first, getting Thompson in time for out number 2. 2 absolutely monstrous human beings in E.J. Taylor and Gannon Thompson. Thompson, 6'7", 220, a freshman out of Michigan State University, while E.J. Taylor is 6'4", 220 out of Southern Nazarene University. Fastball hits at the knees for strike 1 to Carter Tibbetts. Back in the lineup catching. Carter was in Game 1 as designated hitter against the Moo on Sunday. Went 0 for 3 with a strikeout, but went 2 for 4 in Friday's matchup. 89 miles an hour on the radar. Gets at the knees to some displeasure with, well, some of the Sioux Falls Cyclones. Tonight, a major giveaway for the Sunfish. It was replica jersey night. 87-mile-an-hour fastball this time misses low. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sellers thought that was going to be strike 3. He was in very similar spots to the other pitches. He's out of the stretch for the whole time as Sellers kicks and delivers. This time, a breaking ball misses away. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. But replica jersey night, and what the PA announcer for the Sunfish said, there's a lot of Andrew Garcia fans in attendance tonight. All of the jerseys say 21, and as in the inaugural 2021 season, as Tibbetts fights off a fastball to the back netting. And so all of them say 21. Orange 2, teal 1 with the Sunfish logo on the right sleeve. Farmers Union Insurance sponsoring the jerseys on the left sleeve with the orange sun, teal fish across the chest. Black jerseys. Broken bat. Grounder into the diving glove of Luke White, but it gets out of it and gets into left field. Tibbetts rounds first but stumbles, and he'll walk right back. An 89-mile-an-hour fastball on the broken bat single for Carter Tibbetts, the first hit of the afternoon for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Mitch Stone. That's Carter's first hit since Friday. Mitch Stone, who played in his first game last night since June 30th, went 0 for 4 with a strikeout. The bats were not there for Sioux Falls last night. It was a pitcher's duel between Andalo Santangelo and first-time starter Nolan Meredith for the Moo. Meredith in his fourth appearance. As Stroh drives this one high and deep to left center field at the warning track is Ryan Koski, who will make a beautiful catch. That one looked like it was going to fall and bounce off the wall. Stroh gets one taken away from him. Swinging at the first pitch, he saw a hard-hit ball, and the Sunfish fans were excited. A lone hit from Carter Tibbetts isn't enough to put the Sunfish on the board. We remain scoreless after 2 here from Sioux Falls. Mitch Stone threw 2 innings. Has only allowed 1 hit. He went 3 up, 3 down with a pair of strikeouts in the second. And Stone averages about 6 strikeouts a game. He'll throw a fastball low and in to Dylan Sears, the Western Illinois Fighting Leatherneck. 3 Summit League players in the lineups for both teams tonight, as Stone will hit Sears in the back. He tosses his elbow guard and makes his way down to first. In Stone's last outing, there were a few hit batters, which is very uncharacteristic for Stone. I think when he was out in Wheat City, it got to a point where he was almost just trying to throw it as hard as he could, and it didn't work well for him. He leads the team now with 7 hit batters on the season. We're back to the top of the order for Darian Morphew, who flew out to center field on the first pitch he saw. He fouls off the first one this time. Shohei Ohtani, 33 home runs, 70 RBIs with a 1.069 OPS. He is about a 3.4 ERA, though, and is the first two-way All-Star in MLB history, and just shows how good of a player he is and, well, how he's becoming the face of baseball. Fastball hits at the chest of Darian Morphew. It's no balls, 2 strikes. The Sunfish, black hats, orange S, teal F with the teal brims, gray jerseys, orange left sleeve with the Sunfish logo, teal right, orange Sioux, teal falls across the chest. A swing and a miss on a fastball. Stone climbs the ladder for strikeout number 4. Austin Baskin, the shortstop, struck out looking his last time up. Steps up with 1 out, runner on first. We remain scoreless here in the top of the 3rd inning. Orange numbering on the front and back, black or white pants with a black trim down the sides. The slider misses high for ball 1. The Moo Gray pants, purple and orange trim down the sides, purple jerseys, orange trim at the sleeves with orange numbers on the front and back. A cursive orange F on the right chest as a pop-up to Norris McClure at third. Will be out number 2 of this inning. Baskin pops that one up and is retired. There's also some orange trim around the neck for the Fremont Moo's uniforms. They have their all-purple hats with their cow logo on the front. In this, the 5th game since Friday between the two teams. They see each other 5 more times this season, 3 this upcoming weekend here at Karras Park. No more from Fremont. E.J. Taylor, who's the lone hit of the day, takes a fastball low and away, 88 on the radar for ball 1. Few schedule changes. Well, just in the past few days for the Sunfish. Fastball misses low. It's 2-0. The Sunfish were supposed to have a 4-game homestand against the Hastings Sodbusters that first weekend after the All-Star break. Instead, it's now a 4-game series against the Sioux Valley Saberdogs. 85 on the radar gun, hits at the outside corner. It's 2 balls and a strike. So that remains the same, but there were a few more the weekend after. Slider gets out of the hand of Stone. He does a bit of a 360 on the mound. It's 3 balls and a strike to E.J. Taylor. And Taylor's just got such a good eye at the plate, a .556 on-base percentage. He's walked 25 times this season. Grounds this one sharply over to Benito Garcia, plays it at the chest, over to Hoffpower for out number 3. So a leadoff hit by pitch means nothing. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on base for the Moo. We're still scoreless after 2.5 from Karras Park. Dylan Cricket Danielson leads it off for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. And well, after missing a week due to a friend's wedding, he really made a name for himself last night. Went 2 for 3 with a double and a single. Almost scored last night on a single by Benito Garcia. He'll take a fastball outside. He was tagged out. When we watched the film after the game, he looked like he was safe, but that's neither here nor there. It's in the past. Would have been the 1 run that the Sunfish would need to keep it tied. It would have been the first run of the game. Another fastball just misses away. It's a 1-1 count. But it's not the 2 hits that we're talking about for Cricket, even though that was the most hits he's gotten in a game all season, his first multi-hit game. A great game to come back from. But it was the robbed home run of Jack Simonson. The 1-1, 89-mile-an-hour fastball. That one looked more outside than the last pitch. 3 pitches on the outside. All three have been called different things. 1 ball, 2 strikes is what the count's going to stay at. But Cricket Danielson read the ball well, hopped up over the fence, grabbed it, pulled it back in. Made Sports Center top 10 at the number 2 spot. Slider misses low and away. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cricket Danielson, one of the many players on the Sunfish team to wear his pants high. He's the only one with the colorful socks. Teal socks with 3 white stripes right about the calf. 89-mile-an-hour fastball fouled off. That foul ball is presented by Keg Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it. Keg Chicken. We're scoreless in the bottom of the 3rd inning from Karras Park, home of Ronkin Field. The sun's starting to set a bit, but it's still shining all over the field. Danielson fouls another one off, this time a bit of an off-speed. Went with the changeup on that one, and it's still 2-2. Tom Bertucci interviewing Nolan Arenado, the starting third baseman from the National League from the St. Louis Cardinals, making his homecoming to Coors Field, where he spent many seasons with the Colorado Rockies. The 2-2 is popped up on the slider. Dylan Sears in the shallow left center field grass will make the catch to his left ear for out number 1. That brings up Adonis Forte, the only All-Star hitter in the lineup tonight. Will Olson, the other All-Star for Sioux Falls on the offensive side of things. It's Mitch Stone and Andrew Garcia, the 2 pitchers who made the All-Star team in Casper for the Clark division. Curveball misses away, and it's 1-0 to Forte. Adonis, one of the 2 lefties in the lineup tonight, himself and Norris McClure, takes a fastball on the inside corner for strike 1. Adonis 305 on the season, 8 doubles, 2 triples, and a home run. That home run coming on Father's Day in front of his dad. Takes the 1-1 fastball on the outside corner for strike 2. Adonis hasn't played since game 2 against the Moo in the doubleheader. Went 0 for 2 in that game with a pair of strikeouts. There's another game where the Sunfish bats just couldn't get it going. The 1-2 swung on and missed for strike 3. A curveball got by him for out number 2. That's the first strikeout of the day for Trent Sellers. On the season, Sellers now up to 24 strikeouts. We're back to the top of the order with Jonathan Brandon, who flew out to center field his first time up. And Jonathan, after not playing in game 2 of the doubleheader on Sunday, fastball misses away, he had a bit of a playing streak as well. Since July 1st, he had played in every single game. He wasn't supposed to play in Tuesday's game against Wheat City. Swings through a curveball for strike 1. But it was JT Mix who, on a swing and running down to first, kind of just pulled something. I think it was in his hamstring. It might have been. He just had some tightness. The 1-1 rolled over down the third base line. It bounces off of third base and rolls into left field. Jonathan Brandon on his way to second. He'll get in there with a stand-up double. A hard-hit ground ball kind of bounced on top of third base. It looked like Luke White was about to have a play on it, a tough throw, but instead it just changed directions. And Jonathan Brandon gets a 2-out double here in the 3rd inning. We're still scoreless, but now we're runner in scoring position for the Sunfish the first time today. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 straight games for J-Bo. Now he's played in back-to-back after going 0 for 3 last night. A long slider will be called a strike on the lower outside corner to Benito Garcia, who grounded out to short his last time up. So 2 outs, runner on second. Fastball in, it gets away from Hayes. Jonathan Brandon will trot in safely over to third. And now the first run of the game just 90 feet away. The All-Star game has gotten along quickly. I turn away for a second, and there's already 2 outs in the top of the first inning. Xander Bogaerts of the Boston Red Sox going against the starter from the Washington Nationals, Max Scherzer. Once again, it'll be Shohei Ohtani for the American League. The 1-1 is fouled off just off the end of the bat. A slow slider up and away. It's 1-2. 2 hits for the Sunfish tonight. There's only 1 for the Moo. They had 2 guys reach in the first inning, but the other one was off an E6 to Brock Reller. Here's the 1-2 from Sellers to Garcia. Fastball away, evens up the count at 2 all across. I talked with Walker Bullington early before the game and asked him, well, about how the Sunfish haven't been seeing the ball all too well. Well, it's not that they haven't been seeing the ball all too well, but it's in this second half of the season and all season long, the Sunfish have really taken advantage of walks. As a curveball fools Benito Garcia, he swings early on that one, and that'll strand Jonathan Brandon over at third. 2 strikeouts in the third inning and a double by Jonathan Brandon, but still no runs for the Sunfish. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. After 3 from Karras Park, the Moo and Sunfish are scoreless. Back-to-back nights of what's turning into another pitcher's duel. The Sunfish ace Mitch Stone against Trent Sellers, who's one of the better pitchers for the Fremont Moo. Not one of their all-stars, though. As the first pitch slider, I guess, hits Brock Reller. I thought that was the sound of the ball hitting the glove. I guess it hit Reller to lead things off. Back-to-back innings of hit batters to lead things off. It'll be the third baseman, Luke White, who's 0 for 1. So Reller is still now 0 for 1. He reached on an E6 his last time up before being hit this time. Luke White sees a fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. Luke White out of Lewiston, Idaho, goes to Lewis Clark State. Fastball high is called a ball. Lewis Clark State, he's teammates with Trent Sellers. And it's kind of funny that they're playing in the Expedition League. Slider swung on and missed for strike 2. It's a 1-2 count. In the top of the fourth inning, runner on first, no outs. Still a scoreless ball game. But, of course, Lewis Clark State, the 2 divisions here in the Expedition League, the Lewis and Clark division. A fastball rolled over to Garcia, flipped to Brandon, throw over to Hoffpower, a double play. The Sunfish, the best team in the Expedition League in terms of turning double plays, get a 6-4-3. Reller sent packing. Luke White will make the slow trot back to the third base dugout for the Moo, and there's 2 outs for Jack Simonson now. Simonson's teammate from North Dakota State, Bennett Hostetler, getting drafted in the 18th round today of the MLB draft. A slider swung on and missed for strike one. Speaking of the MLB draft, it was, All-Star and third baseman Austin Callahan for the Moo, who was drafted today by the Cincinnati Reds, as Simonson will pop that one up to Gannon Thompson in center for an unofficial 3-up, 3-down inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base off the hit by pitch by Brock Reller and the double play. But congratulations to Fremont Moo Austin Callahan for getting drafted by the Cincinnati Reds today. All the best wishes in his future endeavors as he makes his journey through the minors and hopefully realizes his dream of Major League Baseball. We'll return for the bottom of the fourth inning. We're still scoreless between the Sunfish and the Moo. Norris McClure, Zeph Hoffbauer, Gannon Thompson due up in this pitcher's duel. Trent Sellers has gone 3 innings, allowing just 2 hits. He let Jonathan Brandon get all the way over to third in the bottom of the third inning before striking out Benito Garcia, as an 88-mile-an-hour fastball is blown by Norris McClure for strike one. Sellers and Stone been looking good, except, that slider brushes back Norris McClure for ball one. McClure flew out to end the first inning. There was a 3-up, 3-down in the first for the Moo to the Sunfish, and Mitch Stone has forced 2 3-up, 3-downs for the Moo. McClure battles off an 88-mile-an-hour fastball, making it a 1-2 count. That foul ball is presented by Keg Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it, Keg Chicken. There's some Sioux Falls Cyclones baseball players to our right doing some PA, reminding me that the foul balls are presented by Keg Chicken. The 1-2 to McClure. Grounded sharply over to Dylan Sears. Makes easy work of it. Over to E.J. Taylor for out number 1. Norris doubled in the first inning yesterday. And, after that, that was all he could do, as the Sunfish were held to just 6 hits. Norris's double and a bunt single by JT Mix were the 2 other hits that weren't from Dylan Cricket Danielson and Benito Garcia, who each had 2. A curveball misses at the ankles to Zeph Hoffbauer, who flew out to kick off the bottom of the second inning. Fastball misses away. It's 1-1. I guess that curveball hit at the knees. 1 out, nobody on. Bottom of the 4th inning, it's 0-0. It was just a 1-0 ball game yesterday as Hoffpower pops this one up, shallow center field. Charging in is Morphew. It'll be in the Bermuda Triangle, but Morphew calls off everybody else and makes the catch for out number 2. Gannon Thompson, who grounded out to short, will be up with 2 outs. It was in the top of the 4th inning yesterday that the Moo scored the only run off of the Trent Sellers sac fly that scored Jack Simonson. Sellers now on the mound, trying to keep the Sunfish scoreless for the second night in a row. A fastball pops in and out of the glove of Ryan Hayes, and it's outside for ball 1. Gannon Thompson grew up coming to Augustana, or Karras Park, as another fastball, this time hitting on the lower outside corner for a strike. Evens the count at 1. But he would come watch some Vikings baseball, and he said when he was on the air with us a few weeks ago that even some travel ball games were played here. The 1-1 is taken low and away on the slider. It's 2-1. Joining us in the 5th inning and maybe a bit beyond will be Sunfish outfielder Tanner Wilson. Fortunately, he got hurt this weekend in Fremont, so, well, he's got the time to come up and live out his dream of joining me on the broadcast. Fastball misses high to Thompson. It's 3-1. Home plate umpire having a few words with Shea Bennett in the Moo dugout. Walker and this umpire have gotten at it throughout this 5-game stretch, both in Fremont and last night. The 3-1 is a changeup inside. Thompson was fooled on that one. He tried checking his swing. It was so inside. But he committed just a bit too much. It's a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. No runs have crossed for either team yet. Here's the payoff. A swing and a miss on a breaking ball. Thompson goes down for the 3rd strikeout of the day for Trent Sellers. A 3-up, 3-down inning in the 4th inning. And unlike last night, we're still scoreless through 4 here at Karras Park. We'll be joined by Tanner Wilson in the top of the 5th inning when we return on the Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube. It's Ryan Koski, Ryan Hayes, and Dylan Sears due up for the Moo in the top of the 5th. We are scoreless, and joining me in the booth, living out his dream that he's had since basically day 1 because he's bugged me about it for every day as a slider hits the outside corner. It's Tanner Wilson, the cowboy from Texas. How you doing, Tanner?
Man, it's a pleasure being here, quite honestly. Been really wanting to do this since I got here. Davey said there's no subtitles on the radio, so finally hurt. Who knows how much longer I'll be here. Finally decided to let me come on up and have a go at it.
Finally hurt. You make it sound like
okay. I didn't.
You
mean
make
like
it
that,
sound
man.
like I said you needed to break your leg to be on the
Not
air.
what I meant, man.
I'm not that mean. As a Another slider misses low. It's 1-1 here in the top of the 5th inning. But yes, unfortunately, on Sunday, as Mitch Stone drops another slider on the outside corner, it's 1-2. But on Sunday, so was it on that diving catch? I haven't really gotten to talk to you about it. There was a diving catch out in center field. You dove, quote unquote, didn't catch the ball. We thought you caught it, but is that when you hurt your knee? As a slider gets Koski to chase for strikeout number 5 on the day for Stone, out number 1 in the 5th.
Yeah, when I dove right there, I felt something a little uncomfortable. Just thought I bruised up the knee, honestly. Then about 2 innings after, went after another ball. Felt a little pop, didn't feel comfortable. Went and talked to coach, got me out of there, and saw a trainer. And they suggested that I go see someone professional as soon as possible.
1 out to Ryan Hayes is a fastball away. Hayes 0 for 1 on the day. But so Tanner from Lamar University down in Texas got that drawl. And it wasn't me who said there's no subtitles on the radio. Slider misses low and away for ball 2. It was Walker on the fish tank. Walker's the one who said it because we talked about maybe getting you on, and he said there's no subtitles on the radio. So that was not me. I have to just put that to rest. Fastball fouled up and away. But it's a pleasure to have you. We know your parents are avid listeners. You got to meet your parents when they were up here in Sioux Falls, and hopefully they're listening tonight. You want to give them a shout-out quick?
What's up, Mom and Dad? How y'all doing? Love y'all, miss y'all, and who knows, might be seeing y'all in a couple days. You never know.
You're making me sad, Tanner. Foul ball again, makes it a 2-2 count. So what has been your favorite part coming down from Texas? And you and I have talked off the air many times. You really haven't been too far outside of Texas. Tanner sounds like Matthew McConaughey. Thank you, Sam. Your husband's pretty southern too, Sam. That's Walker Bullington's wife. A liner takes the glove off of Mitch Stone. He recovers and throws over to Zeph Hoffpower. Wow, Mitch will take a bit of a lap. He's nodding back at the dugout for the Sunfish. A liner came into his glove, took his glove off. Wow.
It's a lot of focus right there. It takes a lot of focus on
Do you
that
think
play.
you'd have that concentration if you were on the mound able to catch that one?
I don't think my glove would have fell off.
I mean, that's fair. That's a fair point. Dylan Sears now, the lefty, stepping up. But so yeah, you said you told me off the air you haven't been outside of Texas all too much. Sears flies to center field. Gannon Thompson with the catch. Well, I guess we'll get to that question in just a moment. Didn't get to talk to Tanner Wilson too much, but don't worry, he'll be back with us for the bottom of the 5th inning. We're still scoreless from Karras. Back on the air on the Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube. Carter Tibbetts leads off in the bottom of the 5th. We're scoreless between the Sunfish and the Moo. Back with us, Tanner Wilson. And Tanner, I was asking you what your favorite part of being here in Sioux Falls has been this summer. I'll just let you answer it before anything else happens.
Well, I mean, there's definitely two things. One, the humidity. it feels like there's hardly any humidity. It'll be about 95 degrees, and it feels like it's about usually when it's 80 degrees back home. It feels great, like not hardly sweating at all. And honestly, man, once you get around a group of guys, you start to love them. Like, I've only been with them a month, and I feel like I've known these dudes for years. Like, it's great. I love being a part of a team like this, honestly.
Tibbetts gets the count to 1-1 quickly, that time on a breaking ball low and away from Trent Sellers. Tibbetts with a single in his first at-bat. But I'm still trying to wrap my head around, you said no humidity. Where have you been all summer?
I'm telling you, man, you ain't been.
I get it might not be as humid as Texas, but that doesn't mean there's no humidity. There's humidity here.
It feels like heaven over here, man. I'm not even lying.
Fastball runs up and away. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. And you and I have had this conversation. We'll be in Pier. It'll be almost 104, and you'll be like, feels just like home. And I will have a drenched shirt as Tibbetts is jammed and fouls one to the Moo dugout, bringing the count full. You are crazy. You and I have talked, and
crazy.
You're a tad bit crazy. You're a tad bit crazy. So talk to me about the cowboy hat. Obviously, you're from Texas, so like it fits. But up here, like you didn't wear it the first couple games when you were up here, and then you kind of just started bringing it out. As Tibbetts takes one high and deep to left field. Koski at the wall, jumps, and there it is. Carter Tibbetts points his finger to the sky. That's his first home run, not over the Moeller Monster, but if we were in Fremont, that would have gone straight over that 25-foot chain link fence. Carter Tibbetts breaks the scorelessness with a solo shot with no outs in the bottom of the 5th inning. You want to break that one down?
You want me to break it down?
Let's break that one down. You're up here. You're my color commentator. Let's break it down.
One thing I love about Carter is he knows how to get the barrel of the ball, honestly. You don't want to throw that dude a fastball inside because he turns on it. He will put it somewhere that you do not want it. I'll tell you that for sure. He's a great hitter. Struggles at times trying to go the opposite way, but he always figures something out. He always gets it going. He's a great hitter.
Mitch Stone tries to lay down a bunt, and you can hear a fan out in the crowd say you're trying to catch him sleeping. Luke White playing a bit deep over at third. Stroh, he's got some speed on the base pass, so he'll be able to run that one out, but he just fouled it off. It's no balls, 1 strike. Carter Tibbetts has hit a home run against the Fremont Moo 3 times this season. That's his 3 home runs. 2 of them have been at Moeller Field in Fremont. This is his first one up here in Sioux Falls, but all 3 have been against the purple and orange. So you've been wanting to get up here in the press box for a while. Do you see a broadcasting career in your future if you ever end up stepping away from baseball?
Quite honestly, no. I really don't. I don't see me being much of a broadcaster. I just couldn't see it in my future. I'm probably going to do something a little different than this outside of I really don't know what I'm going to be doing with my future, quite honestly, man.
Could you see yourself narrating some car commercials like fellow Texan Matthew McConaughey?
Like a nice GMC commercial?
The more that you have been up here and I've actually had you like talking here next to me, the more you're starting to sound like Matthew McConaughey. And that's not even like trying to stereotype or anything. The 2-2 to Stroh, grounded over to the left side. Baskin spears it out of the air, fires it into the dirt over at first, dug out by E.J. Taylor for out number 1. And E.J. Taylor, I mean, you've gotten to see him throughout the weekend.
I don't think he's missed a single ball that has touched the ground.
He digs out all of them, and he's 6'4", and he's been having the nice stretches over there. Even in Fremont, he would have some where he's just fully stretched out. He's very limber, and like you said, I don't think he's missed one that he's had to dig out.
He's one of the better first basemen I've seen in a while, honestly. He does not miss anything over there. He's a vacuum cleaner, that's for sure.
No, and he's one of the all-stars for the Moo, and we got Mitch Stone, broken bat off the bat of Dylan Cricket Danielson, falls, and it's right in between Baskin White and Sellers, and Cricket Danielson will run out an infield single on the broken bat, second broken bat of the game for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. It's 1-0 Sunfish off the solo home run by Carter Tibbetts here in the 5th. And now with a runner on, 1 out, it's Adonis Forte, who struck out his last time up. Speaking of all-stars, Adonis Forte, and you got Adonis, you got Will Olson, Mitch Stone and Andrew
AG.
Garcia. Can you talk about, obviously you and I hang out with them a lot because we're on the road, we
Yeah.
travel with them. You get to know them a bit more in the dorms and stuff and when you're all in the dugout. Talk about the 4 All-Stars, Donnie, Will, Mitch, and AG. Like, what sets them above the rest of the Sunfish and the rest of the Expedition League making that All-Star team?
Honestly, I really don't feel like, I don't know if they really set themselves apart too much. Like, I feel like we got a bunch of really good guys here. It's just a matter of some guys maybe haven't found it at the right time, you know? Like, I mean, I know Adonis, for example. I think he's the only guy on this team that could beat me in a foot race. Well, I mean, besides right now. I'm pretty sure anybody and their mother could beat me right now. But Donnie, he's got a good bat, good speed. He knows how to hit a baseball, honestly. Will has been hot right now, man. Every single ball he hits, I feel like has a chance of going over the fence every single at bat. AG, Andrew, every time he gets in the mound, I feel like he's going to go 6 or 7 scoreless. I feel like he's always got something going. And Mitch, that dude, he's got a feel for his break and stuff, that's for sure. He ain't going to overpower you with the fastball, but his break and stuff and changeup, that's where he really thrives. He's really good up on the mound.
Couple throwovers to first, doesn't get Cricket Danielson. He's got not too big of a lead over there. The 2-0 hits Adonis Forte right in the backside, and now there's 2 aboard. And seems like Trent Sellers, after giving up the home run, he's feeling a bit shaken. Here comes Shea Bennett, the manager for the Fremont Moo. 2 runners on, 1 out. It's a 1-0 ball game off the solo home run by Carter Tibbetts. And so you say Adonis might be the only guy who can beat you in a foot race. What if it was a 3-way race between you, Adonis, and Benito Garcia?
Oh, I got Benny. I got Benny for sure. I just got a slight feeling. But Donnie, I don't know. There's something about that man. He should not be that fast. It should not be illegal.
I mean, there's a reason. Actually, Jonathan Brandon
J-Bo
has 1 more stolen base, and I think it's just because actually him and Donnie have the same amount of games played.
J-Bo gets great jumps off
But
the base path.
J-Bo very aggressive on there. But
He gets great jumps off the base path. That's for sure. He might be one of the I would say him and JT Mix might be the 2 best base runners on this team, honestly.
When you were talking about Will Olson being, it seems like every ball off of his bat is leaving the yard. There's one person on the team, and I think you've already might have looked at my screen, but there's one person on the team who has a better batting average than him. Do you know who that is?
I mean, I do, but I don't want to say it, man. I don't want to bring it up.
That's fair. We're not going to. We'll just let people at home assume. I think you can imply off of what we're talking about right now who might lead the team in batting average as Jonathan Brandon fouls one off. He's 1 for 2 with a double today. But there's a couple guys, and you talked about how the 4 All-Stars, like, they don't really set themselves above the rest of the Sunfish team because everyone's so good, and I totally agree with you. As a slider misses away, it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Because yourself, Norris McClure, Kenneth Dutka, some guys who, they set themselves apart. Kenny, I mean, he's a 2-way player. He delivers on the mound, he can hit. And then you and Norris McClure, Norris has 3 games this season where he hasn't gotten a hit as a breaking ball misses low. It's 2-1 to Jonathan Brandon. You have 1 game where you haven't gotten a hit, and you lead the team in the batting average. Oops, I said it. But the reason, some of the reasons is just you don't meet the minimum requirements of at-bats. But I think some of you guys might make the All-Star game, as this time a fastball hits the lower outside corner, 2-2. But do you want to talk about the cowboy hat predicament, the batting cage is sit in? I bring it almost every time you come up to the bat. I kind of bring it up and I give a little bit of apology on the air.
All right, so I wasn't hitting too bad. First day I show up in a cowboy hat. I'm going out to hit batting practice and whatnot, and old David right here tells me, he goes, "Hey, where's the cowboy hat at?" I was like, "It's in the dugout." He goes, "Well, go grab it and put it on and take BP with it." I was like, "All right, sounds good." So I went and grabbed the hat, went and took batting practice. Felt good. Like, honestly, I felt really good that day.
Grounder up the middle, gets by Austin Baskin out into the outfield. Here comes Dylan Cricket Danielson. Adonis Forte is going to get the stop sign from Lane Hubdy. And an E6 will score another run for the Sunfish. It's 2-0 Sioux Falls on the E6. Adonis Forte makes his way to third from first. Dylan Cricket Danielson will score, and Jonathan Brandon sits safely at first base. It's now Benito Garcia with 1 out, runners at the corners. Sorry for interrupting you.
All good, all good. Needed an interruption right there. But anyway, showed up. I hit batting practice that day in the cowboy hat. Felt really good. Went into the game, and it was the worst game I had all year. Have not done it since, and ever since I did that, ever since I stopped wearing the cowboy hat, everything started rolling back together.
Jonathan Brandon takes off on the first pitch. He'll get second as Ryan Hayes, instead of even faking it down to second, just immediately throws it to third. No tag by Luke White as Adonis Forte stays put. So with 1 out, there's 2 runners in scoring position here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 2 runs have scored, 1 off of an error and 1 off of the solo home run by Carter Tibbetts. And actually, they might be giving that a single. They're giving Jonathan Brandon a single.
He tried to make a dive after it.
That's true. You know,
he made a dive after it, and it was a tough play. It's too hard to give him an error on that.
That's on me. That's why we have the color commentator up here. I
wanted to correct you on that, but I didn't want to.
You do. You know, that's what you're here for.
Yeah, man.
I'm usually wrong. 9 times out of 10, I'll probably end up being wrong on a scoring decision. That's why I usually wait for point streak. But I was just so confident in that one. It's when the confidence that kills me, you know?
Yeah. But, I mean, he tried it. That was a tough play for him to make. If he'd have made that, then it would have been a great play. So you can't give a man an error for that, honestly.
Ground ball past the diving glove of Dylan Sears. The infield was playing on the infield grass. Jonathan Brandon scores from second. And a 1-out single by Benito Garcia scores 2. It is now 4-0 Sunfish. All 4 runs have come in this 5th inning. It just takes 1, and the Sunfish get going. Am I right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I'll tell you what, Benny, he gets messed over. He gets messed over a lot. He hits a lot of balls right at people. He puts a lot of barrels on balls. Glad to see that finally fall through for him. He had a rough day yesterday, even though he hit really good. Really glad to see that for him.
So right now, 1 out runner at first. 4-0 ball game. There's been quite a few hits in this inning. Norris takes this one high and deep to right. Simonson at the wall. He'll catch it at the warning track. Benito Garcia is going to tag. The relay from Dylan Sears. The tag at second. He's underneath the tag by Baskin. Baskin's got his hands over his heads. Alex Shoemaker called safe, and here comes Shea Bennett. A deep fly ball out to right field. McClure just missed that one for out number 2. Benito Garcia with the tag gets to second. Shea Bennett is not too happy with that one. What did you see from up here on all that?
Well, man, Norris, once again, that man, he's really talented. He can really hit a baseball. He just missed that one. Benny saw that right fielder was going back, of course. He made a good read on that. You go back and tag up. That's just good base running right there, quite honestly.
Obviously, we don't have the best view from up here in the press box. Benny usually good at sliding out of tags, so it's safe to assume he avoided it. Shea Bennett thought otherwise as Zeph Hoffbauer fouls the first pitch he sees down the first base line. 2 outs, runner on second. Strike 1 to Zeph Hoffbauer. It's a 4-0 ball game. We have Tanner Wilson up here in the press box. It looks like we got to have you up here more often. Top of the 5th.
I tried to tell you, man. Tried to tell you. I get up here and what happens? We score some runs.
We go 3 up, 3 down, and we score 4 runs. The 0-1 to Hoffbauer, pops it up, left side, giving chase is Hayes. He's at the netting, but that's going to go just to the left of the grandstand and out of Karras Park for strike 2. So, being from Texas, gotta ask, this is usually something we ask on the fish tank, and there's kind of been an unwritten rule for me as of this point. If you come on the broadcast, you kind of move to the bottom of the list on the fish tank order.
All right, man. It's all right.
So it might take you a little bit. We might get to this question after this. Zeph Hoffbauer pops up the 0-2. Shallow center field. Going out is Dylan Sears. Drifting to his left a bit. Will make the catch as it comes down by his left ear for out number 3. But the Sunfish, excuse me. There we go. I was trying to get ahead of myself. 4 runs off 4 hits, no errors, just 1 left on base. They take the lead in this one. After 5, it's the Sunfish 4. The Fremont Moo nothing. Will return with Tanner Wilson for the 6th inning after this. The Sunfish put up 4 in the bottom of the 5th inning. And after going scoreless last night, they've kept the Fremont Moo scoreless through 5. Mitch Stone back on the mound. And we'll see Darian Morphew. He lines one just past the glove of Mitch Stone on the first pitch he sees right up the middle for a leadoff base hit. That's the first base hit of the day for Darian Morphew, who hasn't gotten a hit since the 5th inning of yesterday. So the leadoff man is on, and it's Austin Baskin, who's 0 for 2. We have Tanner Wilson up here in the booth with us for at least this inning. We'll see if you want to come back up in the 7th. You having a good time? Is this everything you hoped it would be?
Yeah, I'm having a great time, as a matter of fact. It's actually, it might be a little bit better than I was expecting.
That's good. Austin Baskin sees a slider that hits at the knees on the outside corner for strike 1.
Never get to hang out with David during the games. It's kind of nice being up here, seeing you, seeing that beautiful face.
Wow. Okay. I don't think I've had a player say beautiful face to me this season. Another slider from Stone misses just away. It's 1-1. But I guess I appreciate that. Thank you. I don't have a mustache like yours, though.
Oh, man.
I have a bit of facial
We've been working
hair.
on it. We've been working on it for a good bit now.
You're the only player who I think has kept their mustache. A slider gets Baskin to chase outside, and it's a 1-2 count. Because because 2 guys we had on the Fish Tank Podcast. Fish Tank Podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, every Wednesday. Tomorrow we have Norris McClure on the show, just giving a cheap plug. But we had Kenneth Dutka, runner goes, fastball, gets away from Carter Tibbetts, rolls a bit up the first base line, but all the way by the backstop. First stolen base of the day for the Fremont Moo. And they have a runner in scoring position in Darian Morphew, getting a bit aggressive now, down by 4. But back-to-back weeks, we had Declan Beers and Kenneth Dutka on, and both of them had some sweet stashes. But right after we interviewed Kenny, Kenny had just shaved his, and right after we interviewed him, we had been talking about Declan's, and Declan shaved his. I think yours
Declan went first. I thought Declan shaved his first.
No, Kenny had his off in the Carroll, Iowa series. So it was Carroll, Iowa against the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks.
Uh-huh.
Time is called. It's a 2-2 count to Austin Baskin. He had we played the first game in Carroll, and then we had the doubleheader the next day. That night in the hotel, Kenny shaved. Mm-hmm. And then that following Wednesday is when Declan shaved his. A hard hit ball, left center field. At the warning track is Cricket Danielson, will make the catch right in front of it. It's deep enough for Morphew to tag. He tagged a bit late. The throw in from from Cricket Danielson to Garcia was very late, so an easy tag for Darian Morphew, who's now 90 feet away from scoring, on the fly out by Austin Baskin. But so those 2 shaved. Yours is still standing. Actually, one that's still standing. Your roommate actually in the dorms, Brooks Capel, the 2 Texas boys have kept their mustaches all season long.
Yeah. Brooks, he's working on it. He's not quite there yet.
I
say you give him another month, he'll be there. He'll be right here in the same situation that I'm looking at right about now. But he's starting to get a lot better. That's really all I got to say about that. I mean, the mustache, don't plan on it going anywhere anytime soon.
Dane Frazier's trying to grow one out.
Yeah, he is. He
even fastball low. He even tried maybe putting a little color on it, trying to darken it a little bit. It's still a bit short, but I think he might be able to get there.
I think he'll get there.
We're obsessed with mustaches on this team. Actually, our scorekeeper, Matt Anderson, on the 2-0 to E.J. Taylor, slider.
That's a nice pitch.
Gets Taylor looking for strike 1.
You don't expect that on a 2-0 count.
You go from seeing 85, 88, back-to-back pitches, slows it down to 73. Goes with another 73-mile-an-hour slider. Taylor chases this one low and away. It's 2-2.
That'll make you have trust issues. You think a 2-0 fastball is coming, you get a slider or a changeup of some sort, not expecting it, swing right over the top of it, and there's really nothing you can do about it.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. just hit a solo home run in the top of the 3rd. The AL leads the NL 2-0. Slider drops in on the inside, fools Taylor again. He kind of had a half swing. That's strikeout number 6 for Stone on the day. And it'll be Brock Reller, the All-Star designated hitter, who is 0 for 1 with an E6 and a hit by pitch today. But we're obsessed with mustaches. Matt Anderson, do you remember when he had his mustache?
I do.
And then right after Dutka's fish tank episode, Matt shaves his. A fastball hits the inside corner for strike one. So it's just like everyone shaved him at the same time, right after we had an entire podcast episode worshiping him. It was just crazy. We talked about yours. We talked about how you look like, instead of being 19, you look like you're 30.
See, I don't see that. I really don't.
It makes you old. Okay,
it makes me look a little
maybe
old,
not
but-
older, but maybe it makes you look, or maybe not 30, but it makes you look older.
It makes me look a little bit older. I mean, if I
And
didn't
a
have
deep
it,
Southern drawl
if I
doesn't
didn't
help.
if I didn't have it, trust me, you would think I'm probably in my sophomore, junior year of high school.
I think the voice would throw me off a little bit, though. Like if you shaved and then you talked to me, it would just kind of throw me off and mess me up.
Probably.
Slider
Right.
bounces away from Tibbetts. It's 2-1 now. Back-to-back balls got away from Carter. But Morphew stays put at third.
Might just have to go back and shave it tonight.
If you shave it, I think not only me, but I think everyone with the Sunfish would actually. I think your teammates would be a bit more upset than I would.
Yeah.
Because next thing you're going to do, you're going to sell your cowboy hat or something. A fastball's lined sharply into the gap. Cricket Danielson going back. He makes the catch.
That's a good play.
Sticks his glove
on a
out,
roll
says a
right now.
prayer, and makes a catch. Back-to-back nights with some web gems for Cricket. How about his catch last night,
That
though?
was. I just had a feeling. I saw the ball hit. I saw him go back and track it good. I was like, he's about to catch this ball. I saw it all the way, and just a great play by Cricket. Honestly, a great play.
Cricket Danielson ends the inning with a beautiful catch off the hard-hit ball by Brock Reller. The Fremont Moo remains scoreless off of the leadoff single by Darian Morphew. He's left stranded on third. After 5.5 from Karras Park, it's the Sunfish leading by 4 over the Moo. Out of the game is Trent Sellers. In is Brendan Jones. Sellers goes 5 innings, allowing 4 earned runs off 6 hits, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Brendan Jones will throw a breaking ball at the knees to Gannon Thompson for strike 1. Jones out of Midland University in Fremont, but from Glendale, Arizona. Throws another slider away. It's 1-1. He's 1-0 on the season through 9 appearances, 1.88 ERA, 14 in the third innings, 14 strikeouts, 6 walks. The Sunfish saw him in game 1 of the doubleheader on Sunday. He pitched 1 inning in that 7th inning, allowed just 1 hit through 4 batters faced. Has a fastball miss, it's 2-1. And after all that, We're back with Tanner Wilson for the bottom of the 6th inning. And Tanner, what have you been seeing in your time up here? What's been good? What's been bad for both teams?
For both teams, Fremont was too? Or?
Yeah, just what have Fremont been doing well, but also struggling with, and same with Sioux Falls. Let's just break it down. Let's break it down. Let's start with Fremont.
All right, we'll start with Fremont. They were really, for most of the games that I've seen against Fremont, they've been struggling with the stick a little bit. I've only seen one game where they really got the sticks going. Pitching wise, they haven't been bad, but I just feel like we've been better offensively against their pitching, against them, honestly.
What about today? What specifically about today? If you could pick a good and a bad for the Moo today, what's one good thing and one bad thing they've been doing
today? A good and a bad today.
That you've just been noticing.
I mean, bad wise, I'd have to say. Well, I don't know. We made a couple of solid plays, but I would say their sticks, of course, they're hitting wise. Good wise, I mean, they haven't been pitching bad. They're just a matter of we're getting barrels at the right times right now. Like a lot of times we struggle whenever we get runners in scoring position. We'll struggle getting them in. Right now, we're not struggling with that. We're doing that really good right now.
Gannon Thompson drew the walk. Carter Tibbetts behind 0-2 on this pitch from Brendan Jones. Tibbetts had that solo home run. Time is called by Carter. But Carter has 3 home runs this season, all 3 against the Moo, all 3 of them solo home runs. His solo home run to kick off the 5th inning sparked that 4-run inning that has give the Sunfish their 4-run lead. With no outs, runner on first, Tibbetts takes a pitch outside. The count is now 1-2. Now for Sioux Falls. You already mentioned the bats are starting to heat up a little bit. Besides that, what's one thing they've been doing well? What's one thing that they can work on? You also kind of mentioned leaving the runner stranded out there.
Yeah. I mean, if we're not going off that, I feel like lately we've been walking a little too many people. We've been letting people get on too freely. But good wise, I mean, you just have to go back to the sticks. We only have one game. I'd say one game of our last 10. We really haven't had them rolling, and we just couldn't really figure it out that game. But I would have to say we were giving too many people free bags.
Tibbetts pokes this one into center field, but it's right at Morphew for out number 1. Thompson will make his way back to first. It'll be Mitch Stroh who's 0 for 2. And you say one game where the bats kind of haven't been there. I'll raise you to 2.
Raise me too.
Last night, obviously, last night was a big one that you guys struggled with at the plate.
Yeah, true.
Couldn't put up any
I'd say
runs,
2.
and it was 6 hits, but then was the other game you were maybe referring to on Sunday against Fremont, game 2?
That second game against Fremont.
Those, I think, are the only 2 where you can really say that it was the hitting that was the problem, as Mitch Stroh pops the first one up down the right field line, giving chases Taylor. He lays out, but can't make the catch. Thompson, in the small chance that Taylor caught it, was about to tag. EJ slow to get up. He has his glove off, but it looks like he's going to be okay. He has to just adjust his belt, it looks like. So 0-1 now to Stroh. And then in the second half of the season, Sunfish are 8-3.
Yes.
And that one loss to Pierre on the 4th of July, I wouldn't necessarily, and I would agree because you said there was only we have the 2 games where we struggled hitting. I wouldn't even say we struggled necessarily with the hitting against Pierre. It was just some silly mistakes and a little bit of struggling on the mound for Sioux Falls that really dealt with that one. A pitch low in the dirt, doesn't get a steal from Thompson. It's 1 ball, no strikes on the ball that's nicely put down by Hayes. But otherwise, so 3 losses. And you weren't here at the beginning of the season, but when you got here, the Sunfish weren't necessarily, as we like to say now, hot.
Yeah.
But then once the team kind of started meshing together, when would you say was the time where you guys kind of felt you were most as a team and you felt like the Fish were really starting to warm up?
I would say we started really getting good. Hang on.
Hit and run on as Thompson was stealing. He slows up right before second, but the poke into left field by Mitch Stroh falls in front of Ryan Koski, and that's a 1-out base hit. Runners on first and second now with 1 out for Dylan Cricket Danielson, who singled and scored in the 5th his last time up.
I would say probably about a week before the second half of the season started, we really started kind of figuring some stuff out a little bit, and then ever since that second half started, we really started putting things different levels. We've started coming together as a team and playing some good baseball.
Losing back-to-back to the Moo was the first time the second half of the season that the Sunfish have lost back-to-back. Otherwise, they had a season high, franchise history high.
Yeah.
I like to say it because it's the first season. I like to say a franchise record. 5-game winning streak heading into Fremont, or after Friday's win in Fremont and Game 1 of the doubleheader. That 5-game winning streak was snapped with the Game 2 doubleheader loss. And then, of course, last night marked back-to-back losses for the Sunfish. Pitch misses low and away, a nice backhanded stop there by Hayes. But so, I'm going to quick rattle off a couple questions that usually we like to do on the fish tank, but let's get them out of the way here. Let's see, what's your favorite color?
Favorite color? Red.
Favorite baseball team?
Astros.
Really?
Yeah.
Where are you from again?
Southeast Texas.
Southeast. Well, what town are you from? Let the fans know.
Okay, so I live in Orange, Texas, but I go to school in Beaumont, Texas, which is about 30 minutes west of where I was born and raised. And then Houston, from where I was born and raised, is about 2 hours to the west of me. So Houston's the closest, I guess, big city that it would be for me. So I grew up going to a lot of Astros games and all that my whole life. I've just been a fan since.
2 balls, no strikes to Cricket Danielson. Runners on first and second. It's a 4-0 Sunfish lead. The throw is foul tipped into the glove of Hayes from Brendan Jones in his first inning of work, bringing the count to 2-1. So you're from Orange, Texas, but your favorite color is red.
Come on.
I had to. It was there.
You're a lot better at commentating than you are a comedian. That's for sure.
That's true. Come on, I'm the type of guy who walks around the dugout. People are starting to get sick of me when I keep saying your socks untied.
Oh,
Cricket Danielson with a rip to left field, but that'll be caught at the warning track by Koski. The ball's just been flying off the bat for the Sunfish today. Hard hit balls. Well, not even just today. There's a lot of guys on this team, yourself included, who just like to rip the ball every which way possible. Sometimes, unfortunately, it's just right at people.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it can be pretty demoralizing as a player. Like, you get a nice barrel on a ball, and then you just see it go right at them, and there, there's nothing. There's no chance that that's going to drop. But, I mean, at times you feel like you can't figure it out, but then you just, at the end of the day, you just got to realize, I'm getting a good swing on the ball. So there's nothing else you can really do until you find a hole.
Thompson just keeps shuffling over there at second, finally gets the attention of Jones. Baskin from short was coming in and out, trying to cover, keep Thompson close, but he's still just, I like to say, dancing out there. That's the word I tend to use, especially for Jesus. How entertaining is Jesus on the base pass?
Man, he's probably the slowest guy on the team, but when he's on the bases, it's like he thinks that he's the fastest guy that's ever touched the field. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes he does stuff, and you're like, okay, that was good. Then other times it's like, Jesus, like, man, you got to realize where you're at. You're a lot better at the plate than you are on the bases. Like when you're on the bases, let somebody else advance you. You need to try to advance by yourself a little bit less.
You're gonna get into a fight with Jesus. If Jesus hears this, you guys are gonna, you're gonna get at each other now.
Hey, I mean, I'm saying he does stuff. He does stuff sometimes. I'm like, okay, that was good, but then he's a little too aggressive, I'd say.
Curveball drops in on the inside corner. A groan from the crowd for strike 1 to Adonis Forte. 2-1 on the count. He's 0 for 1, hit by pitches last time up and scored. Continue. Sorry,
Yeah, but at the same time, like, I wish I was as aggressive as him sometimes. Sometimes I feel like I'm a little too conservative. So, I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing. I feel like you got where I'm at and where he's at, and you just evened it out, then it would be a lot better, honestly.
So back to asking you some questions. So we got color, hometown, favorite baseball team, and with it being the Astros, I've never asked you this before.
I don't want to hear anything about the World Series.
But I need to.
We don't need to, man.
Fine, I guess I won't. Forte fouls one off, bringing the count to 2-2 with 2 outs, runners on first and second. All right, so what is you kind of brought up to me, or we talked off the air, and from being Texas, I think it's kind of safe to assume you're a country music fan.
Of course.
What's your favorite artist and favorite song? It can be two different things. Doesn't have to be a song by that.
Gosh, favorite artist. I mean, there's more than one. Like, I'd have to go somewhere along like a Hank Williams Jr., George Strait kind of.
So some older country.
I'm more of an older country. I mean, if it's, I do not listen to anything.
And like deep country.
Yes.
I mean, those are guys who it's that's country.
Like that's the good stuff. That's the good country, of course. And song. You ever heard of
Runners go as Adonis Forte takes the pitch away on the full count, and it's bases loaded now. 2 outs. We're back to the top of the order to Jonathan Brandon.
I don't even know. There's too many songs I can even choose from, honestly.
What's one that is like? It's the first song you play whenever you're turning on your music.
I have a playlist that's about 35 hours long of just country music.
What's the first song on that playlist?
First song on that playlist? I don't even know.
Just play it, or what's a random song on that playlist?
I'll tell you a good one. Have you ever heard of Uncle Lucius?
Not in the slightest.
Keep the Wolves Away. You might want to listen to it.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite songs.
Keep the Wolves Away by Uncle Lucius. 2 outs. Jonathan Brandon sees an off speed on the inside for strike one. It's a 4-0 Sunfish lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning. We're here with Tanner Wilson, who unfortunately against Fremont had a pretty bad knee injury. Hopefully he can maybe stay a little bit longer, but if he has to go home, he's living out his dream of being my color commentator. His life has been made tonight.
Oh, it's been a great
Sitting
night.
up in the booth with Davey Broadcast as Brandon swings through one. It's now 0-2. Are you going to join us for the 7th inning, or is this it for your broadcasting
What do you want
career?
me to do?
It's up to you.
I'll stay here.
We'll stay here for the 7th inning. You'll get Tanner Wilson for one more inning after this. Jonathan Brandon on the 0-2 takes a breaking ball low. Good eye there by Jabo. So on a 1-2 count, bases loaded, 2 outs in this situation. You've kind of seen what this guy's been throwing. What are you searching for right here?
Right. I mean, the way I hit, you always have to look fastball, because if you're looking for an off speed and they throw you a fastball, 9 times out of 10 you're not going to touch it. So you always have to look fastball and try to read spin out the hand. Right here, if I'm Jabo, I'm looking for something away, and I'm trying to put it in between that first and second baseman right about now.
So on a slider like that, when it just misses away and you're reading it, that's a good read there by Jabo.
Yes, that's a great read.
Takes a slider outside, evening the count up at 2-2. So now that he's got the slider, what are you expecting, a heater now?
I'm thinking he's probably still going to go away right here. He's probably going to go with the fastball low and away.
We'll see what we go with on the 2-2. Bases loaded. He goes with another off speed. Jabo gets a piece of it, but it's straight into the glove of Ryan Hayes for out number 3. Strikeout number 1 for Brendan Jones. The bases are left loaded off of 1 hit. No runs crossed this inning, no errors. The Sunfish still lead by 4. Tanner Wilson will be returning in the 7th inning on the Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube. Luke White will lead things off in the top of the 7th inning. We've got some even better news now for Tanner Wilson. His dreams are just being lived out here tonight. I'm a dream maker. Fastball on the inside is called a strike from Mitch Stone in his 7th inning of work. But Tanner Wilson will be singing Take Me Out to the Ball Game here at Karras Park tonight. Slider misses low and away. 1-1 to Luke White. He's 0 for 2, grounded into a double play in the 4th, grounded out in the 1st. And Tanner, how excited are you now?
Man, my night, like, I feel like I didn't even hurt my knee. I feel like I'm on cloud 9 right now, man.
Dude, it
just keeps getting better and better.
Like, am I your best friend now, or am I your best friend?
I mean, I think you're my best friend now.
Let's go, dude. Me and Tanner, best friends for life. A pitch misses high on the slider. It's 3-1 now to Luke White after Stone got an 0-1 lead and has thrown 3 straight balls. Stone quick with his work. The 3-1, a fastball, check swing right into the glove of Stone. He was going for the tag. Instead, he's just going to run it out himself. Now, that's something you don't see every day. And Mitch is a bit of a character, as we've seen as the season has gone on. And I think he just wanted to take that one himself. He's had so many balls hit right at him today that why not take that one?
Why not? I mean, it's always safer if you're not throwing it. I mean, if you have an easy play, I'd say run it over, because you don't want to risk dropping the ball and something crazy going on, then him end up being safe at first base. So I don't see anything wrong with that.
I think that's the first time this season I've written a 1U in my scorebook. Fastball misses high to Jack Simonson. We've had a lot of 1-3s. I think even some 1-4s or 1-6s. The 1-0 is a fastball down and in. It's 1-1. But so Jack Simonson, I talked earlier on the broadcast about how his teammate from North Dakota State, Bennett Hostetler, was drafted as a fastball's fouled off. It's 1-2 strike now. Austin Callahan, the Fremont Moo, former third baseman, was drafted by the Reds today. Any of your friends get drafted in the MLB draft in the past couple days?
Here, let's go and watch this pitch real quick.
Here's the 1-2. Grounded sharply over to Benito Garcia. Gets it on the backhand deep in the hole. He'll throw over. Brings Zeph Hoffpower off the base. A bounce into the glove. That was a deep ball in the hole, and I think they're just going to call that a hit. As, well, he had the backhanded slide. Was able to make the stop. Prevented it from being anything more than just a single. No error has been put on the board, and there's the hit. They put it in the wrong column, it looks like. That's the third hit of the day for the that's the third hit of the day for the Fremont Moo. Back-to-back innings, they've gotten a hit, and with one out, there's a runner on first for Ryan Koski.
But, I mean, I don't have any really friends that got drafted. I mean, there's a lot of guys that played against.
Or just guys you know, yeah.
Yeah, then I got a distant cousin. Not really close, but he got drafted in the 4th round by the Blue Jays. So, I mean, that's pretty cool to see that. Grew up in the same area, just not really close.
Well, No, and by friends, I did mean more like, teammates or people that you knew who maybe you saw get drafted. I mean, that's a cool thing, though. It's
cool
like saying, like, hey, I
always,
played against that guy in high school, or even with yourself at Lamar. Probably got some talent down there in Texas you get to see get drafted.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of talent down there. I'll give you that. I'll tell you that for sure.
2 balls, no strikes to Koski. We're here with Tanner Wilson in this 4-0 Sunfish lead. Complete turnaround from yesterday. The Sunfish were shut out 1-0. They now lead by 4. There's another slider from Mitch Stone. Misses low and away. It's 3-0. And now, when you're going up against a pitcher, put yourself in a Fremont Moo mindset. Obviously, Mitch has been doing great tonight. Has only allowed 3 hits through 6 1/3 innings. He walks Ryan Koski on 4 straight pitchers. Now runners on first and second. That's actually the first walk issued by Mitch today. He's only hit 2 batters. It's now Ryan Hayes who's 0 for 2. But when you go up against Mitch, and Mitch has been dominant all season, that's why he's an all-star, but he only throws a fastball and a slider. When you know a pitcher's only got 2 pitches, and if you're a lefty, he's got 3. He's got the changeup. But when you know he's got 2 pitches, what's the approach at the plate?
Man, so, I mean, you don't have to have a lot of pitches. If you can put a ball where you want to put it, you can be one of the best pitchers.
Absolutely.
Honestly. I mean, of course. But, I mean, as a hitter right now, you see that he's on a roll, and you're down by 4 right about now. You're trying to go deep into an at-bat right here. You're not trying to jump on a first pitch. You might want to take till you get a strike
That's past the diving glove of Norris McClure off the fastball into left field. Cricket Danielson up and throwing to the cutoff man Norris McClure. Jack Simonson forced to stop at third. A one-out single loads the bases for Dylan Sears. And that's what you were talking about right there. You're searching for that fastball and just kind of rip it into left field.
Fastball. But anyways, I mean, you might want to try to get a little bit deeper into an at-bat right here. Try to get his pitch count up a little bit. Because, you know, he's throwing a lot of pitches. He's going to start getting tired. He's going to start losing a little bit of feel of the strike zone more than likely. So, I mean, the more pitches you can get him out of there, get somebody else in. Maybe they're not going to be as dominant as this dude is right now. Try not to do too much. Go deep into a count and just try to do your thing.
I don't know if you've got better eyes than I do. There is someone up and throwing in the Sunfish bullpen as Tyler Olmstead's out here. It looks like he's just kind of chatting with Stone.
It looks like
they're going to go with Stone, I believe, for the rest of this inning. Again, one out, bases loaded. Got the force out anywhere.
It's Tom.
Is that Tom's son? The newest.
It is.
That is Tom's son, the newest pitcher for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. He went 5 innings against the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks last week from Augustana University. If he gets in today, it'll be his first appearance at his home ballpark. He did not play in any game for Augustana this season. But he came out and had an outing, got the win for the Sioux Falls Sunfish on Monday against the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks in Grand Forks. Mitch Stone on that single is now up to 90 pitches through 6 1/3 innings, trying to get out of this one. Bases loaded. Zeph Hoffbauer playing on the edge of the infield grass, as is Norris McClure. The middle infield at double play depth as a slider drops in for a strike to Dylan Sears. We got a bus backing in over here to our left, a bit premature.
A little early.
Especially it's,
we could
still
have
the top of the 7th inning.
We got to have another hour of baseball.
Basically, yes. This time a fastball misses. It's 1-1 to number 1, Dylan Sears. We got Uno's Wild. Doesn't say it up on the board, but Dylan Sears number 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. I get excited about the little things, Tanner. Uno's Wild. That's what I like to call it. The 1-1. Inside, gets a bit away from Carter Tibbetts, but not too far. Almost hits Dylan Sears on the inside. And so, Tanner, is there actually one thing I haven't talked about now that Tyler came out?
Mm-hmm.
The 3 coaches. What's it like playing for Walker Bullington, Lane Hubde, and Tyler Olmstead?
Honestly, those 3 guys are awesome. I mean, Walker, you're not going to meet anybody else like him. He's a great coach. You're not going to meet anybody else like him. I mean, he knows what he's talking about. He has fun while he's doing it. Lane, same thing with Lane, same thing with Tyler. Just 3 great dudes, just doing what they love to do, and we're having a great time, the whole team.
3 balls, 1 strike to Dylan Sears. This Moo remains scoreless. Not anymore. Fastball misses low and in, and Sears will get an RBI on the walk. Jack Simonson scores the first run of the game for the Fremont Moo. Ryan Koski over to third. Ryan Hayes over to second on the 1-out walk, and that'll be it for Mitch Stone. He's up to 95 pitches, and that's all she wrote. A great outing by Mitch Stone. He just couldn't get it done here in the 7th inning. 6 1/3 innings. He gets a round of applause from the crowd here at Karras Park. 4 hits, allowing just 1 run, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Those 2 walks weren't here until the top of the 7th inning. It will be Tom's son in for the Sunfish. We'll get you more on him when we return on the Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube. Back to the top of the order we go. Darian Morphew, 1 for 3 with a single, was left stranded on third in the sixth. It's been a pair of hits for the Fremont Moo and a pair of walks here in the top of the seventh inning that have gotten their first run across. Tom Sun inherits the bases loaded. He'll start off with Morphew. Throws a fastball 88 low and in for ball one. Sun made his season debut with the Sioux Falls Sunfish at Wheat City last Monday. Went 5 innings, allowed just 1 run off 5 hits, 5 walks, 3 strikeouts. Got the win in the 9-7 Sunfish win. Fastball lined sharply past the diving glove of Jonathan Brandon. 1 run's going to score. Coming around third is Ryan Hayes. He stops the throw in from Adonis Forte. Starts rolling, and it goes over to Zeph Hoffpower at first. Luckily, no one goes. So just a 1-run single. That goes to Mitch Stone. And the bases are still loaded with 1 out. It's now a 4-2 ball game. The Sunfish still on top for Austin Baskin. What'd you see there?
Man, that's just a good piece of hitting right there. Saw a fastball, took exactly where the pitch was given, and you just put a barrel on it, and really can't do much more than that.
Tom Sun, 1.8 ERA coming into the game. Leaves another fastball inside, jams Austin Baskin down the first base line to the first base coach for strike 1. Sun's basically gone down here at Karras Park. The lights are on. And you've played center field here. I've actually, after one of the games, we were kind of taking some BP, me and some of the front office members, was seeing some fly balls out there. How tough is it to see fly balls out there when the sun goes down?
Well, you got your certain time right after the sun goes down. Call it twilight usually. It's not too dark, and it's not light. So that's about usually your hardest time. It usually only lasts about an inning or so. At about that time, that's whenever you're telling your guys out there, like especially since I'm out in center, I'm telling guys like, hey man, we gotta be talking, letting each other know.
High chopper over to McClure. He misplays it, fires it over to first. It's not in time. So an E5 for Norris McClure. It was a high chopper, got it in the glove, bobbled it a little bit. Another run will score, and just like that, it's a 1-run ball game. Now that one I'm 100% sure is an E5.
Yeah.
That's a tough play there for McClure. Looked like it might have been an ending double play ball potentially. Instead, it's just a late throw over to first.
Just fumbled it out the glove. Just couldn't get it in his hand.
This is a dangerous man to have at the plate with the bases loaded and it being a 1-run ball game. E.J. Taylor, 1 for 3 after singling in the first. Couldn't get anything done against Stone after that. Tom Sun throws a fastball at the knees for a strike. He bends down to, I think his glasses might have fallen off. Did you see? His glasses fell off. Threw 88 and his glasses fell off. And we saw Mitch's hat flying off earlier today. Now Tom Sun has his glasses thrown off. And actually Tom, an Augustana Viking, one of the 4 now on the Sunfish team, one of 5 this season. The 0-1, a fastball swung on and missed. It's 0-2. But he is the only member of the Augustana Vikings who have been on the Sunfish who did not play this year for Augie.
Really?
Fun fact.
I didn't know that.
Fun fact. He did not pitch. From Beijing, China is Tom. And he's been a fun guy since joining the team, right?
No doubt.
Here's the 0-2. Off speed, popped up, shallow, down the right field line. Forte giving chase in foul territory. Just can't get to it as it lands just outside of the Sunfish bullpen. That's foul ball is presented by Keg Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it.
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
Cock-a-doodle-doo. But so what have you talked to Tom much in the dugout?
Yeah, it's me and him are on completely different wavelengths, really. I mean, I don't think he understands half the stuff I say.
The
I don't
0-2 gets away from. The 0-2 got away from Carter Tibbetts. Tom Sun diving in, just misses the tag on Dylan Sears. It's a tie ball game. Just like that, a 4-run 7th inning makes it all tied up here at Karras Park.
Man.
Not an inning you want to see. And
that's nothing you want to see.
Feel like you may have overstayed your welcome here.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Is this the last inning for you? Or
I think this might be the last inning.
Last half inning for you?
This might be.
You're going to go sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game, head down to the dugout. Taylor pokes one away. It's still 0-2, or 1-2 now, excuse me, to E.J. Taylor. So it's been a breakdown. Mitch Stone kept the game scoreless through 6. Started off this one, walked 2 and walked a run in before giving the mound to Tom Sun, who is now tied the game. A ball is hit past Jonathan Brandon, and it's no longer a tie game. The throw in from Adonis Forte cut off by Zeph Hoffpower. It's no longer a tie game. It's now a Moo lead. They have officially come back down by 4, scoring 5 unanswered, all here in the top of the 7th inning. It's 5-4 Moo, looking to try and win their 3rd straight against the Sunfish to take sole possession of the Clark division. Just a crazy inning.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's been bad pitching. It's just
No,
they've been getting the balls put into play, and Fremont's just putting it everywhere.
Yeah, they're hitting it where they ain't. That's the best thing you can do in this game.
Second base is wide open. E.J. Taylor was looking like he was about to go. Doesn't. On the fastball into Brock Reller for strike 1. Reller 0 for 2, hit by a pitch. Reached on an E6, flew out to left. On the nice catch by Dylan Cricket Danielson. 1 out, runners at the corners. It's now a Fremont 5-4 lead. Curveball drops in, but low. It's 1-1. Reller is not a guy you want up in this situation either. 2 runners on. Reller has not hit a home run against the Sunfish yet, but he leads the Expedition League in the long ball. And, well, the Moo, with any ball hit, can take another run on the board and extend their lead over the Sunfish. Got a breaking ball low and away. It's 2-1. And if you're on the mound, what are you trying to, especially with a power hitter here like Brock Reller, how are you trying to pitch around him?
So, you don't want to give this guy a fastball. You don't want to give anybody like this a fastball because they find it, they hunt it, and they see it, and they get a barrel on it. It's going to go a long ways. Oh.
This one gets by Carter. Actually, it might have hit Brock Reller. They're saying it hit him. So Reller will head back to first. E.J. Taylor gets second. And Austin Baskin has to make the slow walk back to third. Its bases loaded. The Fremont Moo have officially gone through 9, and we're back to Luke White, who led off the inning with a ground ball right back to Mitch Stone.
It's another one of those guys right here. You want to try to give him the least amount of fastballs that you can give him over the plate. Trying to give him right here. I'm trying to get this dude to roll over on a changeup away and try to get 2 right here and get out of this inning. That's the best thing you can that's the best case scenario you can go for right here.
It was Luke White who grounded out as the first batter this inning. Sees a pitch on the outside corner called a strike. And after White, everyone else has successfully reached. It was a single by Jack Simonson, a walk by Koski, a single by Hayes, and a walk by Sears. And it was the walk by Dylan Sears that would score the first run. A fastball is swung on and missed. It's 0-2. Then a single by Darian Morphew and an E5 by Austin Baskin would score a few more. And the single by E.J. Taylor is the nail in the coffin that put the Moo ahead by 1. A 5-run 7th inning, all with 1 out, has made it a 5-4 ball game.
There we go.
87 on the corner is called a ball just away.
I thought that was there.
And that fastball has really been called 50-50 all game.
Yeah.
And it's strike zones like this during the Expedition League season that have killed some teams, with balls that are called sometimes lower or higher that are called different than other balls that are closer. A fastball forces a swing out of Luke White. He's just battling that one off. A nice defensive swing there, 1-2. And obviously, defensive swings, it's not something that you're really trying to put something in the play, just trying to get a barrel on. But as defensive swings go, that was a pretty good one.
That's a pretty good one. You're just trying to – that's a pitch right there. It's hard to do a lot with. So, basically, you're just trying to put it out of play, put it foul, so you can see another pitch and try to see something that's better for you and put it where you think you can do something a little bit.
Unfortunately for Tom Sun, his breaking stuff just hasn't really been finding the zone, hasn't been getting many people to chase. He misses there with a curveball low and away. Counts now 2-2 to Luke White. Goes back with the fastball over the head of a jumping Jonathan Brandon. One run's going to score. Here comes E.J. Taylor. Brock Reller booking it to third. And another base hit on a 2-2 count this time. And that's what you said you didn't want to do. Don't want to give him the fastball. And unfortunately, with the breaking stuff not hitting the zone, that's where Tom Sun's having to go, is the fastball that he's been able to get the most control with.
It's tough. That's a tough time. I mean, if you got one pitch that's not working, one of your main pitches, it's pretty easy to figure out what's going on from there. With probably what he's more than likely going to throw for a strike. And he got his fastball, and he did exactly what he wanted to do with it right there, scoring 2 runs on a nice piece of hitting.
So E.J. Taylor scores from second, Baskin from third. Brock Reller makes it all the way over to third on the single. It's a 7-4 ball game now. The Moo have just been putting up a clinic this inning. It's Jack Simonson who's already singled and scored this inning. He fouls off the first pitch he sees from Tom Sun. Runners at the corners, 1 out. 3-run lead for the Moo. The Sunfish trying to get out of this inning as soon as possible so they don't dig themselves a deeper hole to try and get out of. The 0-1 to Simonson from Sun. Breaking ball fouled off sharply into the Sunfish dugout. Hopefully everyone's okay. I see a lot of group out there by the bullpen. They all looked in as well. Hopefully everybody is okay. No balls, 2 strikes to Simonson. Sun might try his breaking stuff here and get Simonson to chase. There he goes. A ground ball, high chopper. Jonathan Brandon tosses it to Garcia. Over to Hoffpower. He's safe. Can't turn 2. A bang-bang play. None of the bang-bang plays have been called out today for either team. Another run will score. Brock Reller from third. Luke White heads back to the dugout on the 4-6. And Jack Simonson reaches on the fielder's choice. And now on a ball like that, sharply hit, J-Bo a little bit maybe slow on that flip, and it's just that's a hard one to turn.
That's a hard play. It's an awkward position for Jonathan right there. I mean, he did just about all he could do.
Ooh, sharp hit ground ball up the middle, another base hit. Simonson was looking like he was ready to run second, around second and to third, but his fellow Sioux Falls native, Gannon Thompson's got a bit of an arm out there in center, didn't want to test it. Speaking of that, we haven't really talked about that. Obviously, you're usually at home in center field. Mm-hmm. Gannon, mostly in right most of the time. He's played all over the place. But how about the arm on Gannon?
Gannon, I'm telling you, that dude has he has the body that you wish that you had as an athlete. I mean, big kid, a lot of power. Great dude. He's a great guy. I mean, not even going to get past that. But he's got a great arm. Just, honestly, he's a great ball player all around.
6'7", 220. Pretty muscular. Again, got a nice swing, and when he makes contact, he launches it. Liner into center field. Gannon got caught by the turf monster. He'll throw it into second. Simonson will score as the ball's cut off by Hoffpower. Simonson will score on the E8. Koski comes into second. That's error number 2 on the day for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. Or actually, that'll be error number 3, excuse me, if they do give that the error. Actually, technically on point streak, there's only 1 error given. I'll have to go look. In my scorebook, I have a few. That one, they're giving a single. Interesting call on that one is Gannon. I think he just stumbled out there and probably should have come in and gotten that one. What do you think?
Oh, I mean, that's one of those right there. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to get there on it. The only way you're going to really get to that ball is if you read it before it even hits the bat. It's a tough play. It's kind of one of those. It could, if he does get there.
This one's hard hit. Right center field. It gets by Adonis Forte. Rolls to the wall. 1 run's going to score. Rounding third is Hayes. The throw home is going to be blocked in front of the plate. Gets away from Carter Tibbetts. And that one, what would you give that one? As Adonis Forte had the read on it, but it got over his glove.
And tough play. He got there. I don't know if it hit his glove or not. I mean, more than likely, I'd say that's more of a mental error right there. Just think he rushed himself a little bit too much on that.
That was Dylan Sears, and they're going to give that. They're giving that a double to Dylan Sears. Tough hit ball over the glove of Adonis Forte. 11 runs in the 7th inning, and the Moo have taken a 7-run lead. Pitch misses away. It's 1 ball, no strikes, and the Sunfish, who are ahead 4-0 through 6, have now blown their lead and have given up 11 unanswered runs. We're back to the top of the order. Darian Morphew for the Fremont Moo, the lefty. Takes a fastball low. It's 1-1. This is the 15th batter of the inning. And if my memory serves me correct, that's the most that the Sunfish have faced in 1 inning this season. I think you really have overstayed your welcome, Tanner.
Yeah, I think so, man. I probably should have left a long time ago. Honestly, I should have left once they got about 5 runs.
The 2-0's fouled off. It's 2-1. And with 2 outs, a runner on second, the Sunfish are just begging for mercy, trying to get out of this one.
Might be time to go get the vocal cords ready for this 7th inning stretch.
I think it might be. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you to Tanner Wilson for joining us on the broadcast, living out his dream. We're sorry that, well, it maybe was just a little bit too long.
Maybe too long. Maybe I'm more of a 2-inning kind of guy.
We had 4 innings score through the first 2 innings you were up here, and then, well, it was this top of the 7th that the Moo have scored 11. Tanner, thank you for joining us. Hopefully,
it was a great time.
Speedy recovery on the knee. Go sing that national anthem. This one's fouled off of the football complex to our left. It's a full count. Tanner, you might want to go get those vocal cords warm up for the 7th inning stretch.
Go get them warmed up.
That was Tanner Wilson, the Sioux Falls Sunfish outfielder, who hopefully will have a speedy recovery. Hopefully his knee starts feeling better. He hurt it against the Moo on Sunday. It's 3 balls, 2 strikes to Darian Morphew from Tom Sun with 2 outs. This one's popped high. Center field, Gannon Thompson camping underneath it. He's got all the time in the world. He makes the catch. But the Fremont Moo have an inning. 11 runs score on 8 hits, 1 error, 1 left on base. The Sunfish now trail by 7. It's stretching time when we return.
Number 10, Garcia.
Well, if there was one exclamation point on that 11-run inning, or one, light in the distance, it was Tanner Wilson singing the 7th inning stretch. I think I saw Assistant General Manager Zach Campbell recording it on his phone. Hopefully that gets out on social media. Benito Garcia will bloop one into right field. That's dropping. Simonson's going to let that one fall. Coming out was Dylan Sears as well. Neither of them could make the catch. Benito Garcia leads off the bottom of the 7th with a single against Chase Reynolds. Reynolds in the game for Brendan Jones. Reynolds, through 8 games, has 1 start, 12 and a third innings pitched, 11 strikeouts, 7 walks, 12 hits, 4.37 ERA. He pitched against the Sunfish in Game 2 of the doubleheader on Sunday. Went 1 inning, 3 up, 3 down. He's not going 3 up, 3 down again as Benito Garcia gets a leadoff hit, and the pitch misses away to Norris McClure. McClure 0 for 3. It was a big top of the 7th for the Fremont Moo. They scored 11 runs off 8 hits. And there was just 1 error there in that inning. Fastball misses high. It's 2-0 now to Norris. Tom Sun coming in after having an extraordinary game against the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks. Allowed 7 runs, 2 of them earned, no walks, no strikeouts, allowed 6 hits. Blooper over to Dylan Sears. He plays it up, but it's not in time. He bobbled it a little bit, and the throw was late to E.J. Taylor. Norris McClure running that one out. The first 2 are aboard for the Sioux Falls Sunfish, trying to rally back, down by 7 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. They're giving that an error to Dylan Sears in E4. So a hit in an E4, put 2 on for Zeph Hoffpower, who's 0 for 2 or 0 for 3 on the day, excuse me. Brendan Jones in his 1 inning of work allowed just 1 hit, 2 walks and a strikeout. No runs could score there in the 6th inning. The kick and deliver, a foul ball off an off speed. That foul ball is presented by Keg Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it. But 11 runs in 1 inning is the most allowed in any lone inning by the Sunfish. 15 batters faced in that inning. Curveball misses low and away. And Thompson is ahead, or is even, 1-1. Reynolds checks back at second before throwing a fastball in. It's now 2-1. The pitch from Reynolds swung on inside. It's now a 2-2 count on the changeup in, The scoreboard here at Karras Park now finally catching up after 4 pitches. 11 runs off 10 hits today for the Fremont Moo. They've committed just a lone error in this inning. 4 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors. Too many left on base once again for the Sunfish. Hoffpower on the 2-2, drives this one sharply into the gap in left center field. That's falling for a base hit. Garcia's going to score as this one dies just in front of the warning track. McClure rounding third himself, and a 2 RBI double for Zeph Hoffpower with no outs. He gives the fish gills to the dugout, and just like that, the Sunfish scored 2 for the first time since their 4 in the 5th inning when they broke the scoreless streak. Those 4 runs back in the 5th inning were the first runs scored since Game 2 on Sunday, as the Sunfish were shut out yesterday. Now a double by Zeph Hoffpower, his first hit of the day, brings up Gannon Thompson. Manager Shea Bennett, number 10, will come out, wipe off the mound a little bit for Reynolds. From what I can see, there's not a pitcher up and throwing for the Moo, but obviously I don't have the best view from up here in the press box down there. It's kind of reverse of Fremont. Fremont, I can't see the bullpen down the right field line where the Sunfish like to warm up, as there's a tree blocking me. Well, here it's just the visitor team batter's box that blocks the view of the bullpen. Mound visit is over. And we're back to some Sunfish baseball on the Sunfish Radio Network, the Sunfish live stream on YouTube. David Coyer here in the bottom of the 7th inning with now a 5-run ball game. After taking a 4-run lead in the 5th, the Sunfish surrendered 11 in the top half of this inning. They've already scored 2 to respond. A slow slider misses away, and Gannon Thompson's ahead 1-0. So far, the Sunfish have left 6 stranded, but it was the bases loaded in the 6th that killed them. Breaking ball inside, misses. It's 2-0. The American League leads the National League 5-1 in the middle of the 6th inning. In the All-Star game from Colorado. 2 balls, no strikes to Thompson. Rolls over one, third base, stopped by Luke White. He lets Zeph Offpower run right by him. A stretch by E.J. Taylor. And again, I talked about this with Tanner Wilson. Taylor kind of slow to get up, and I would be too after basically doing the splits. But E.J. Taylor at 6'4" has just been unstoppable there at first. And Tanner Wilson just mirrored that respect as well to me, or with me, to E.J. Taylor. In the games that we've played here, I don't think I have seen E.J. Taylor miss a ball that's thrown in the dirt to him. Tibbetts at the plate. That pitch gets away from Ryan Hayes, and Zeph Offpower will score on the wild pitch. It's just a 4-run ball game. Bases are empty now with just 1 out. A single by Benito Garcia and an E4 by Dylan Sears let Norris McClure on, and with runners on first and second, Zeph Offpower hit a double into the gap in left center to score both of them. The ground out by Gannon Thompson got him to third, and that wild pitch scored him. A high fly ball to right field. Jack Simonson, just in front of the warning track, makes the catch for out number 2. Carter Tibbetts was looking for his second home run of the day, this time opposite field. Instead, he just flies out to right, and it'll be Mitch Stone. We started with the number 2 hitter. We're down to the number 7 hitter. Mitch Stone singled his last time up, was left stranded on second. That double by Zeph Offpower marked his second extra base hit of the season. He had a solo home run here against Sewers Valley. The curveball drops in for a strike. So Zeph with his first double of the year. 2 RBIs, and it's now just a 4-run ball game as Zeph himself scored. Mitch Stone swings through a fastball and bounces out of the glove of Ryan Hayes for strike 2. Hayes, who had been a strong defensive catcher in Fremont the couple games he caught, has let a few too many by today. In this case, costing them a run. The 0-2 is chopped up the third base line, but Luke White will touch it just to the right of the third base coach's box. It'll be a foul ball, and say it with me, Sunfish fans. Foul balls are presented by Keg Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it. Can almost hear you guys repeating it back to me, as you've heard it so many times. The 0-2 taken high for a ball. Bottom of the 7th inning. Well, I think it's a bit too late to take my trip around the Expedition League as there are 2 outs. We'll see next inning if any team is at such a game as this with a 4-run lead, with it being 11-7. Pitch misses low. It's 2s across the board to Mitch Stone. He drives this one sharply into left field. That's going to fall for a base hit. That's extra bases. Stone is chugging his way to second as the ball rolls just underneath the Augustana Vikings baseball sign and left at the wall. The throw from Ryan Koski's cut off by Baskin, and it's a 2-out double by Mitch Stone that keeps the inning alive. He's now 2 for 4 with 2 base hits. Dylan Cricket Danielson, who had a defensive stop of the year yesterday, went 2 for 3 yesterday with a double and a single, and has already singled and scored in this one. Has a runner on second. He'll take a changeup on the outside corner for a strike. The past 2 games marks the first time this season that Cricket Danielson has gotten a hit in consecutive games. Yesterday was his first multi-hit game, looking for another one tonight. The 0-1 is fouled off. It's 0-2. Since coming back from that wedding in Minnesota, his hometown of Marshall, Minnesota, Dylan Cricket Danielson has been almost a new man at the plate. He's been seeing the ball better. He's been fouling off some nice pitches. Been more aggressive. Here's the 0-2. Fouls another one off. Jammed him a bit on the inside on the fastball. It's still 0-2. Runner on second, 2 outs. After coming into the bottom of the 7th with a 7-run lead, the Sunfish have scored 3 of their own. It's now a 4-run lead. 11-7. Another foul ball by Cricket Danielson keeps him alive. In his first inning of work, Chase Reynolds is already up to 24 pitches. This at-bat, he's already up to 4, and it's just a 0-2 count. Reynolds sets at the chest. Kicks and delivers the 0-2. It hits Cricket Danielson. The Sunfish, leader in hit by pitches. Cricket Danielson takes the ball on the shoulder and takes his free base down to first. There's now 2 runners on with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. That's the 8th time that Cricket Danielson has been hit this season. And it's Adonis Forte, who's 0 for 1 after walking and being hit by a pitch. He'll take a changeup on the outside corner for strike 1. Was hit by a pitch in the 5th, was one of the 4 runs to score. Walked in the 6th, was left at first. He's got 2 runners on. The 0-1, a check swing on the inside, looks down to Shoemaker in the field. He didn't go. It's a 1-1 count. 11-7 Moo after scoring 11 times in the top of the 7th inning. Or scoring 11 runs, in the top of the 7th inning. Here's the 1-1. Good eye on the fastball outside. It's 2-1. Forte on the season with 15 RBIs. Swings through a changeup high. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Due for a hit. Hasn't gotten one since July 6th in Wheat City. A week ago in one of the games of the doubleheader. The 2-2 gets caught looking on a fastball on the outside corner. First strikeout of the game for Chase Reynolds, and 2 are left stranded for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. But 3 scores, the Sunfish started to claw their way back. They make it just a 4-run ball game. After 7 full from Karras Park between the Sunfish and the Moo, it's the Fremont Moo 11, the Sioux Falls Sunfish 7. Jacob Glovich gets the call to the bullpen. We haven't seen Glovich since he pitched in Fremont on June 28th in the 19-7 routing. As we have Austin Baskin leading off the 8th inning. It was Baskin, Taylor, and Reller, the three due up, who did not bat around twice, as Glovich gets a chase out of Baskin high, and it's no balls and 1 strike. 3 innings in his game in Fremont, 2 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts against the Moo. Throws an off speed that hits the zone. It's no balls and 2 strikes. Glovich, a Sioux Falls, South Dakota native. And I think this actually might be his Sioux Falls Cyclones team down below me, 13U. I know he's a coach of a 13U baseball team in town. A breaking ball is driven into center field. Gannon Thompson on the run makes the catch for out number 1. This is where the scoring gets tough in the scorebook, as when you get 15 plate appearances in 1 inning, you have to then go into the next inning. And, well, just got to make sure you mark it correctly so you know where 1 inning ends, the other begins. We're to E.J. Taylor, who singled and scored in the 7th. He's 2 for 4 on the day. Defensively, all season, Taylor has shown why he's an all-star. And from the plate, well, he has as well. He almost gets hit. Leads the Moo in hit by pitches. 1 ball, no strikes. Glovich, 3.48 ERA on the season through 10 1/3 innings pitched. 9 strikeouts, 5 walks, 10 hits. The 1-0. Slider at the knees, called a strike. It's 1s across the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. It's an 11-7 ball game. Moo scoring 11 unanswered in the 7th before the Sunfish scoring 3 right back. Another slider misses low and away. It's 2 balls and a strike. The bottom of the 6th with the bases loaded in the All-Star game. 2 outs. There's going to be a mound visit. The AL leading the NL 5-1. Breaking ball at the knees is fouled off. Looks like it's going into the Sunfish bullpen. And foul ball presented by Keg Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it. And that's the last of our Keg Chicken reads today. I promise. The 2-2 from Glovich to Taylor's ripped sharply over to the glove of Norris McClure. Fires it over to first. A little low to off power, but he makes the catch for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down to Brock Reller, who does not have a hit today. He has gotten on base 3 times, but he's still technically, well, actually, he's 0 for 1. I was going to say he technically does not have an at-bat, but he's 0 for 1 on the E6 back in the 1st inning. Skyrockets the first pitch he sees to center field. Thompson can make a campfire underneath that one. It's 3 up, 3 down for Jacob Glovich. No runs, no hits, no errors. No one left on base. The 3rd 3 up, 3 down inning, 4th, of the game. It's still a 4-run ball game. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning on the Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube. We flip the lineup card over, and it's Jonathan Brandon, Benito Garcia, and Norris McClure, the 1, 2, 3 of the lineup, leading off. J-Bo, 2 for 4 with a single and a double, fouls off the first pitch he sees from Chase Reynolds. Reynolds in his first inning of work allowed the first 3 to score on a single by Benito Garcia, double by Norris McClure, and an error that got Norris McClure on, a single by Benito Garcia and double by Zeph Hoffpower. Jonathan Brandon pokes this one down the right field line for a base hit. Opposite field and a leadoff base hit for Jonathan Brandon. The Sunfish trail 11-7 to the Fremont Moo here in the bottom of the 8th inning. It'll be Benito Garcia who singled himself in the 7th. J-Bo was the only Sunfish not to get an at-bat in the 7th inning. Adonis Forte struck out to leave Mitch Stone and Dylan Cricket Danielson left stranded. Mitch Stone 2 for 4 with a double. 2 doubles in that inning. Zeph Hoffpower's double was his first of the season. Jonathan Brandon having to Superman dive back to first as Chase Reynolds was keeping him close on a nice pickoff move. And a nice tag by E.J. Taylor, just not in time. J-Bo leads the Sunfish in the caught stealing category, a category you don't want to lead in as a pitch misses low and away. It's 1-1 to Benito. 1-0. And in the bottom of the 8th inning, I forgot to do it in the top of the 7th, it's time to take a trip around the Expedition League. It's been such an eventful game here, I almost forgot about the other games going on. Another pitch misses low and away. It gets a little bit by Hayes. Got a piece of his glove, but slowly rolled behind him, but not enough where J-Bo was taken off. In the top of the 8th from Dakota Community Bank and Trust Ballpark, the Badlands Big Sticks trail the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks 3-1. While in the bottom of the 9th from Duncan Field in Hastings, the Sodbusters are trying to claw their way back against the Casper Horseheads. They're down by 1. It's 6-5. A half swing is fouled off by Benito Garcia for strike 1. In the top of the 7th from Minot at Corbett Field, the Sewers Valley Saberdogs are ahead of the Pier Trappers 4-0. While in the top of the 1st inning from Wolffield in Idaho, the Canyon County Spuds are ahead of the Western Nebraska Pioneers 1-0. Flip that, the Pioneers are leading the Spuds 1-0. And from Three Legends Field, the Mining City Tommyknockers are behind the Spearfish Sasquatch by 2. It's 4-2 in the top of the 4th. Slider misses low, and it's 3-1 to Garcia. So again, Whiskey Jacks lead the Big Sticks 3-1 in the top of the 8th. In the bottom of the 9th, the Sodbusters are down 6-5 to the Horseheads. The Trappers are scoreless against the 4-run Saberdogs as Garcia chases a changeup outside. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. So it's 4-0 Saberdogs over the Trappers. It's 1-0 Pioneers over the Spuds in the top of the 1st from Wolf Field. And the Sasquatch in the top of the 4th from Three Legends Field lead the Mining City Tommyknockers 4-2. 3-2 is picked off over at first. A late tag by E.J. Taylor. He was holding the ball on Jonathan Brandon on his way up. 4-run ball game. Sunfish trail. We're at the top of the lineup. The 1-2-3 to lead things off. Jonathan Brandon has already singled. Benito Garcia grounds one over to Baskin. He takes it himself, and the throw pulls E.J. Taylor off the base. And so a E6 will get Benito Garcia on the throw. Jonathan Brandon would have been out one of a double play, but the throw from Baskin sails wide. And so we still have a runner on first for the second error of the ball game for the Fremont Moo. They are now tied with the Sunfish in errors in this one. Just triple checking. Oh, they're calling that actually, a fielder's choice. That's not an error. David's really been off on his scoring today. That's right, I just did refer to myself in the third person. No ball, 1 strike as McClure takes one across the plate. That is a fielder's choice, my mistake. I'll be better next time. So the 6U fielder's choice as McClure fans on a fastball there. It's no balls and 2 strikes. Chris Bryant appears to be playing in the outfield as Brewers pitcher, Freddie Peralta, a late add to the National League lineup, subbing in for his teammate Brandon Woodruff, who was named an All-Star. A late addition is the catcher Omar Narvaez as McClure rips this one into right field. That's a base hit. Benito Garcia takes a round around second but checks back. Simonson was up and firing with it, so there's nothing there. Norris McClure was the anti-beer batter today, and with that base hit, it's dollar off beers for the rest of the inning here at Karras Park. You've heard me say it once, I'll say it again. Fans, get off your couch. Head to your fridge, grab a beer, it's on me. 1 out, runners at first and second for Zeph Hoffpower, who had an RBI double his last time up with these two guys on. He's almost hit, and he is. It caught a piece of his jersey on the changeup inside, and a hit by pitch to Zeph Hoffpower loads the bases for Gannon Thompson, the hometown boy. We talked about it with Tanner Wilson on the air. When he gets a piece of it, he sends it flying. We don't have our usual American flag out there in left field to let you know where the wind's blowing. But looking at the trees, it doesn't really look like any wind is blowing at all. Bases loaded, 1 out, Sunfish trail by 4. Thompson rips this one down the left field line. That's fair for a base hit. McClure's rounding third, heading home. Hoffpower's digging into third. He gets the stop sign from Lane Hovde, has to quick go back to third, and it's a 2 RBI double for Gannon Thompson, and the Sunfish are back in this one. They now trail by 2, and the tying run is standing in scoring position with 1 out. 3 doubles in the past 2 innings for the Sioux Falls Sunfish have lessened the 7-run lead and have brought it down to 2. Carter Tibbetts, who got the scoring going for the Sunfish today with his solo home run, is 2 for 4 on the day with a single and that solo shot. 1 out, 2 runners in scoring position. Chops one high to Dylan Sears at second. Sears plays it on the second hop over to E.J. Taylor. A run will score, and now it's just a 1-run ball game as Gannon Thompson is now 90 feet away, marking the tying run on the ground out. And with the 10 runs being scored here at Karras Park, we like to thank Farmers Union Insurance for the Safe at Home, but it's also McDonald's, a free cheeseburger for everyone in attendance here at Karras Park. If you want to get in on the action, come to Karras Park for a ball game. Here's a 3-game homestand against the Fremont Moo this upcoming weekend before the All-Star break. And with 1 out, it's Mitch Stone taking a off-speed on the outside corner, and by outside, that's way outside. No balls, 1 strike. Stone 2 for 2 in his last 2 at-bats, 2 for 4 on the day. He had a double his last time up. The 0-1 pops it up. That's going to the right side. Taylor coming in. Hayes coming from home, but instead it just will land right on top of the Sunfish dugout with a little bit of a clink, or a plunk. That's what it is. It's a plunk. I'm really talking, I'm scratching the bottom of the barrel when I'm talking about the sound a foul ball makes and it hits the wooden dugout. First I say plank, then it's a plonk. Could have been a thwank. No, it was a plonk. I'm done. I'm sorry. No balls, 2 strikes. Stroh pops this one up. Shallow center. There's only 1 out. Or excuse me, there's 2 outs. That's on me. I forgot there was 2 outs. Our scoreboard out in right field said there was 1, and I had just lost track of time for a little bit. As a fly out to shallow center. But the Sunfish score 3, and it's now 11-10 as we head to the 9th inning. If Jacob Glovich can hold the Fremont Moo, the Sunfish have their chance of coming back, or will it be another one-run ball game? We'll see when we return for the 9th after this. Luke White, Jack Simonson, Ryan Koski will lead things off here in the top of the 9th inning. After scoring 11 runs and taking an 11-4 lead, the Sunfish have scored 6 right back, making it just a 1-run ball game. Luke White will swing on a slider for out number 1, or strike number 1, excuse me. How did we get here? The Sunfish scored 4 in the 5th inning. Their first 4 runs scored since game 2 of that doubleheader. Fastball is fouled off. It's no balls, 2 strikes. In fact, those 4 runs were the first runs scored since the first inning of game 2 of that doubleheader on Sunday. So let's see. That is 15 plus 4, 19 scoreless innings for the Sunfish. A breaking ball down low doesn't get White to chase. It's a 1-2 count. 4 runs in the 5th for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. The Moo would score all 11 of their runs in the top of the 7th, and the Sunfish would score right back with 6 of their own through the 7th and 8th. A slow curveball gets White looking at the knees. Jacob Glovich just drops one in there. 65 on the radar, and it completely just froze Luke White. Strikeout number 1 on the day for Glovich. He is retired now 4 straight since coming into the game. Jack Simonson, who in that 11-run 7th inning singled and reached on a fielder's choice, scored both times. In fact, it was Simonson, Koski, and Hayes who would all score twice in that inning. The only one who wouldn't score was actually Luke White. Jack Simonson takes a pitch low and in. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Another pitch from Glovich is popped up down the right field line. Forte and Hoffpower giving chase. Hoffpower completely lost it, but is no big deal as that went out of play past the Sunfish dugout. Sunfish bullpen, excuse me. We were talking about that with Tanner Wilson, who usually plays center field for the Sunfish. It's a 1-1 count. But it gets to a point where it's kind of tough to see the ball here. And with Hoffpower's angle running from first down the right field line, trying to look over his shoulder into the dark sky with not much light to help, it's tough to find the ball. The 1-1 to Simonson. Grounded up the middle. Garcia coming over, throws it from behind second over to Hoffpower in time for out number 2. Nice range there by the Sunfish shortstop, coming all the way over from short, fielding the ball right to the shortstop side of second base, making the throw on the second base side of it for out number 2. Ryan Koski, who walked and singled, scored both times, is now up. Koski 1 for 3 with that walk and single on the day. 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. Slow curve called a strike on the outside corner. 11 runs, 10 hits, 1 error for the Fremont Moo. 10 runs, 13 hits, 2 errors for the Sunfish. The 0-1. Taken in the dirt away. It's a 1-1 count. The Sunfish make a 2-day trip to Hastings for their final series against the Sodbusters. After that, a 3-game homestand against the Moo. Another curveball, but called a ball low this time. Caught it right around the ankles of Koski. Two balls, 1 strike from Jacob Glovich. This time he throws a fastball low, and it's 3-1 to Koski. I heard from a fan. We had a nice outing here a nice showing here at Karras Park. We've had some of the biggest attendances this season in the past 2 nights as The 3-1 is popped up to Adonis Forte. I think he lost it in the outfield. It's starting to carry. He caught it just at the last second. A good recovery there by Adonis Forte. Jacob Glovich comes in and goes 6 up, 6 down. The Sunfish trailed by 1. They've walked it off once here at Karras Park. Can they come back and do it again? Dylan Cricket Danielson, Adonis Forte, Jonathan Brandon due up for the Sunfish in the bottom of the 9th inning when we return. Historically, the Sunfish this season have done poorly against lefties, and right now, manager Shea Bennett for the Fremont Moo is taking advantage of that, putting in his lefty from Midland University, Stephen Boyd. Boyd, through 13 appearances, has pitched 17 innings, struck out 23, walked 16, allowed 21 hits. His last outing was against the Sodbusters, where he got the 2/3 of an inning save, struck out 2, walked 1. Swing and a miss by Dylan Cricket Danielson makes it an 0-1. The Sunfish are down by 1 in the bottom of the 9th inning. They allowed 11 runs in the top of the 7th inning and have come back, scoring 6, making it an 11-10 ball game. Cricket Danielson fouls off another fastball. It's 0-2.
Ball is presented to you by Cake Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it.
9 earned runs through 13 appearances, making it a 5.82 ERA for the Buckeye, Arizona native. Here's the 0-2 from the lefty. Taken high for ball 1. Cricket Danielson on the day. 1 for 3. He was hit in the 7th inning, putting 2 runners on. Both of them were left stranded. And then it was Gannon Thompson who had a double in the 8th to bring it within 1. Was left stranded at 3rd after the ground out by Carter Tibbetts and the fly out by Mitch Stone. Another good eye on the off-speed outside. It's 2-2 to Cricket Danielson. Top of the 8th from Colorado, it's 5-2 AL over the NL. Here's the 2-2, a swing and a miss on the fastball. Cricket Danielson's out number 1 in this 9th inning. Strikeout number 24. And through 17 and a third innings pitch. Gonna quick do that math. I'm no mathematician, but 24 divided by 17 and a third, that was about close to 1.5 strikeouts per inning, and it's Will Olson pinch hitting for Adonis Forte, the Augustana boy. Here's the first pitch to him. It's taken at the lower part of the zone for strike one. Forte will finish the day going 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. He did score after being hit by a pitch. Olson with the second best batting average on the team. The all-star catcher from Augustana University takes a ball high and away. .368 batting average on the season. 7 doubles, a triple, 5 long balls, which leads the not the Expedition League, the Sunfish. 22 RBIs, 17 walks, 511 on base percentage. He sees a pitch outside, called a ball. It's 2-1. .368 average, 511 on base percentage, 721 slugging. If those aren't all-star numbers, I don't know what is. The 2-1. Fastball up and away. Smartly, Boyd's not giving Olson anything to hit. Boyd has only made one other appearance against the Sunfish. It came back on opening day. He pitched 1 1/3 innings, allowed 1 hit, 3 strikeouts in that first game for the Sunfish. As a slider is thrown in, it's 3 balls and 2 strikes now to Olson. Sunfish lost that first game in franchise history, 8-4 to the Moo. Here's the payoff to Olson. He fouls it off. A nice swing by Olson, just missed it, just got underneath it. With 1 out in the bottom of the 9th inning, the Sunfish are down by 1. They've walked it off once before. It was against the Sioux Valley Sabre Dogs. In the bottom of the 10th inning, Norris McClure in his first game as a Sunfish had a walk-off walk. The payoff swung on and missed. A bit low. Boyd went with the changeup, and it got Olson swinging. Back-to-back Ks for the Sunfish, and the Sioux Falls Sunfish are down to their last out, and it's Jonathan Brandon. Last night, the Sunfish lost by 1, but it was a 1-0 ball game, and this couldn't be the polar opposite. 11-10 is your score right now. The Sunfish need a miracle to come back from this one if they're going to score with 2 outs. And Jonathan Brandon gives them just that, a single to the left side. That's a great way to start things out. How do you get a comeback started? Hit by hit. Shea Bennett is going to come out and talk to the umpire. He gets time granted, and he's going to talk to his own pitcher from Midland, Stephen Boyd. Benito Garcia, 2 for 4, has scored twice in the 7th and 8th inning. In the 7th, he was driven in by the 2 RBI double by Zeph Hoffpower. In the 8th, it was the it was the single by Norris McClure. Again, the double by Gannon Thompson. I was right. 2 doubles have driven in Benito Garcia. Jonathan Brandon scored all the way back in the 5th on the single by Benito Garcia. The Sunfish took a 4-0 lead back in the 5th inning, and it wasn't until the 11-run 7th inning that they, had any intention of needing to come back. It was 11-4 going into the bottom half of the 7th inning. The Sunfish would score 3, making it a 4-run ball game. Stranding 2, 1 in scoring position, and the tying run in the 8th inning was just 90 feet away in Gannon Thompson after he made it a 1-run ball game. Garcia takes a fastball down the plate for strike 1. Garcia has 1 home run on the season. He marks the go-ahead run right now at the plate. The tying run over at first. Brandon getting a bit of a lead over there on the lefty Boyd. Curveball drops in for a strike at the knees. This is a dangerous spot for Garcia. Down 0-2. He's got to be careful at what he swings at and what he looks at. The tying run is at first. The Sunfish have already left quite a few stranded today. Here's the 0-2. Runner goes. Garcia pops it up behind home. Ryan Hayes coming up by the netting, but he's not going to be able to get it as it goes out of play. So Jonathan Brandon was off on the pitch. The Sunfish down to their last strike and their last out, trying to get that runner in scoring position. And on a base hit, if Jonathan Brandon's off on the pitch, he can get to third, and depending on how deep it's hit, could potentially score from first. He's kind of speedy. The 0-2 once again. The lefty Boyd sets at the belt. Brandon with a moderate lead. There he goes again. Garcia swings and misses. It doesn't matter. Boyd takes it himself. Strikes out the side. Comes in and allows just one hit. No runs, no errors, one left on base. Final pitch, 9:41. So 3 hours and 3 minutes. Your final time. The Fremont Moo take this one 11-10. They have now won 3 straight against the Sunfish and sit on top of the Clark Division standings in the second half with a 9-3 record, 29-14 overall, while the Sunfish fall to 8-4. They've now lost 3 straight to the Moo. They're 22-21, just 1 game above 500 overall. Your winning pitcher tonight is going to be, actually, let's make sure we know who that is. It's going to be Chase Reynolds, if I'm not mistaken, as Brendan Jones just pitched 6 innings. And actually, no, it will be Brendan Jones. After 6 innings, he was the one technically on the mound when the 11 runs scored. So Brendan Jones most likely getting that win. And it'll be Mitch Stone awarded the loss. And getting the save in this one, well, it'll be Stephen Boyd. He came in. There was just 1 run difference, and he was up to the task. He allowed just 1 hit, but struck out the rest. 11 runs off 10 hits, 1 error for the Fremont Moo. Today they left, actually I was on the right side already, 2, 4, 5 left on base. And for the Sioux Falls Sunfish, 10 runs, 14 hits, 2 errors. And I'm scared to count how many they left on. 2, 4, 6, 9, 10 left on base, up to the double digits. The Sunfish still lead the Expedition League in runners left on base. It was a pitcher's duel through the first 4, and then in the bottom of the 5th inning, the Sunfish got their bats hot. Carter Tibbetts hit his 3rd home run of the season. All 3 have been over the left field wall. All 3 have been against the Fremont Moo. And then 3 more would score in that inning. The Sunfish would take a 4-0 lead before the Fremont Moo would get their start in the 7th. 11 runs off 8 hits, 1 error would give them the deciding lead. Sioux Falls would return with 6 unanswered runs, but in the 7th and 8th inning, it was 3 crucial left on base, including 2 of those in scoring position that the Sunfish just could not capitalize on. They look to bounce back against the Hastings Sodbusters with a 2-game series on Wednesday and Thursday. The Sunfish are 2-1 against the Sodbusters already this season, and the Sodbusters dropped the game to the Casper Horseheads tonight 6-5. They now fall in the second half to 4-9, while overall they are 12-31 in this 2021 Expedition League series. Tune in tomorrow for game 1 of that matchup between the Sodbusters and the Sioux Falls Sunfish in Hastings, a 6:35 first pitch, just like it would be for a home game, except it's only on the Sioux Falls Sunfish radio network. 6:35 first pitch. We'll probably go live about 6:30 or closer to first pitch at 6:35. Tomorrow, Norris McClure will make an appearance on the Fish Tank, episode 6. So look out on Sioux Falls Sunfish social media for that one. Myself and Walker Bullington on the Fish Tank, the official podcast of the Sioux Falls Sunfish. Norris McClure will be the guest on tomorrow's episode. You can find that on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. There's already been 5 episodes. You get to hear myself and Walker goof around on every episode. And then you also have the likes of Declan Beers, Kenneth Dutka, Zeph Hoffpower, and Jonathan Brandon on some of the episodes. And even last week, I sat down with the official scorekeeper and baseball ops intern for the Sioux Falls Sunfish, Matt Anderson. But tomorrow, it'll be Norris McClure, who tonight went 1 for 5, scoring twice, reaching on an E4 in the 7th. We'll talk to Norris about his time at Spring Hill, maybe even his time in the Northwoods League, and we'll just have a good old time. So again, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts, The Fish Tank. Once more from Karras Park, the Fremont Moo win their 3rd straight game, taking 3 out of this 5-game stand between the Sunfish and the Moo. 11 runs, 10 hits, 1 error, 5 left on base for the Fremont Moo. They beat the Sunfish, who scored 10 off 14 hits, 2 errors, with a whopping 10 left on base. Once again, Hastings Sodbusters and Sioux Falls Sunfish live from Hastings on the Sioux Falls Sunfish Radio Network tomorrow, 6:35 first pitch. For everyone with the Sioux Falls Sunfish organization, I'm David Coyer. Have a good night.